Hi y'all, what's up y'all? How everybody doing? Shout out to everybody in the chat with a thumb jack. Shout out to my mods, the Pie gang, and the new subscribers. See what I'm talking about? And shout out to some of those haters too. They need love too. So look y'all, if you watched my last live like a lot of y'all did, you know what's going on. You know what's going on now. All these cases I'm finna show y'all, I really believe it's a connection. Cause if you got all these people came up missing with their body removal, you know what I'm saying? How the way I broke it down, how this harvesting stuff works. Before I get started, let's put a disclaimer. Disclaimer for use at education purpose use only. All rights, image, and music clips belong to their prospective owner, and we do not claim ownership. So, all these cases, bruh, I want to go back and revisit these cases because keep this in mind. One thing I do know, a lot of viral cases, murder cases, was in this area alone. In this area alone. It's some things that we overlook, gang. I'm telling y'all. If it's a YouTuber that's out there that's in the murders, because there's a lot of YouTubers in the murder mysteries and all of this stuff, and you know what I'm saying? If they just take all the patterns, all the high profile murder cases that's been covered up, look at the victim backgrounds, look where they come from, look how they would end up in the situation they would end it up. So this is the way I look at the world in the United States, where not just only the United States, the whole world. This how big of a business this is. You got all these people, when they come to missing people, they either gonna be on the west or up north. You see what I'm saying? Close to the east. Right over the borderline. Then when you look, it's a desert right here. It's a lot of bones and bodies in the desert that never been discovered. So why would there would be bones in the desert? Look who all close to it. Look, the people that harvest. So it's like they got a trafficking ring all over the world. Cause you can start from here all the way down to here. The most dangerous part. And then look, if you go to right here, this is the interesting part. If you got all of this going on with the harvesting and bones and everything, if you go across here to China, North Korea and stuff, this is where they do all the cloning, the harvesting. It's a pattern. It's a pattern. So that means all these crooked people is connected all over the world. That's the way I see it now. Then the Fed's gonna say, well, we don't know what's really going on, so we just really investigate. Come on. I bet you any kind of money they helping with this program. Because it's big business. So let's revisit some of these cases, shall we? Starting with the missing Cali boys.
We just want to thank everyone in the community for all the support we've seen. We've felt so helpless, and seeing everybody out here really looking and helping out really means a lot.
So, tell us what happened the night the kids went missing.
Okay.
From our yard.
Okay. It was cold. I was gonna make a fire. There's a lot of wood in this area right here next to our house. I opened up the back gate. I'm throwing wood, bringing it inside the house. My wife's inside. She was actually wrapping gifts, so we thought it was a good idea that our youngest two would go outside and play with chalk on the back patio. Do not let them go on the dirt in the backyard. We keep them close. So I was playing with chalk, and I came in the house. I saw them there. I went in the house. I came back out. I didn't see them now. I immediately went back in, asked my wife, did you see the boys? She said, no, they should be outside playing with chalk. I said, well, I didn't see them, so I came back outside and I started searching my backyard. I searched the whole thing. I realized that I left the gate open and I panicked, came inside the house, searched the house, me and my wife. Once that didn't pan out, I got in the van. I looked down the street, both directions. It was getting dark, getting cold, and I got in the van and I hit a bunch of corners. I went down this street. I turned my light on. I searched. I called their names. Talked to a gentleman on the street on the other side over there. He didn't see anyone. So then I came home and I told my wife we need to call the cops. It's getting dark and I need help. We gotta get going. So I called the cops. Cops came. First thing they did was tell us to stay in the house so they can get a hold of us. And they had us just sitting there, and we wanted to keep searching. But everybody came out in droves, and I wanted to thank you guys that night, but we couldn't go outside.
The cops told us the best are out here.
The best are out here searching, and we appreciate it, and nobody ever could tell, we could never talk to anybody, and that was the issue.
We just want to thank everybody.
We really want to thank you guys.
Please, if anybody has seen them, please call, let somebody know.
Call the cops. Call California's the city police department. Call them and let them know what you've seen, if you see anything. Our boys, they are going to be rambunctious, okay? They are going to be here in this area. And I really would like to go in the houses, but it's not because I want to invade people's privacy. I just want to know if make sure. That's it.
Check this out. Check this out. I could tell you everything what happened with the Orion Orson case. Everybody know they lying, right? You know what I'm saying? They even got caught up in the lie. Only thing, what was a dead giveaway was the route. Only thing you just got to do is just pay attention to the route. Like for a prime example, right? We about timeline, right? Check this out. Just listen to the route. He gonna tell you the route. Boom. He said when he jumped in the van, he gonna go down this street. All right. He gonna stop somewhere right along near her and ask him, hey, have you seen some boys? So they're gonna be like, no. So what he did was he drove down, came up the street here, and was coming up this street. Cause when he turned back on this street, he asked this person on this side, hey, did you see some boys? No. Now keep this in mind. You're gonna, before you see this van come back here, man, this man gonna go straight down this route. This is where he gonna go. Now you're gonna understand why they were finding clothes, not in this area, but when you go to the search, it's gonna be like right up in right up in this area somewhere, I believe. When they threw the clothes off the track, talking about the wind blew, so the search gonna be right here. So he was throwing clothes somewhere in this area, had everybody searching on this area to draw people away from this area. You see what I'm saying? Now, when he came from this area, right? He's gonna come back, then pull on this street and go back to the house. But before all of this happened, the police met up with him before the missing person report, before the 911 dispatch, all because of this neighbor camera that caught the footage and had a timestamp on it. You see what I'm saying? So that just showed you he was in cooperation with cahoots with the police before the story was ever mentioned in none of the 911 frequency yet. Meaning that this was already planned and orchestrated. Alright, there's police involvement. Then you dig a little more research what the real cover up is about, cause the same police officer that was investigating the missing boys case is the same police officer okayed the caseworker to get the kids in their custody. So boom. So something was coming up in the child program, right? That you might have a caseworker was looking in, and maybe a file hit and somebody was in the field was like, let me look into this, where these kids at, and got to asking question where those kids at. But keep this in mind. When the boys were missing, it was rumored that they said they saw the boys with two men. Right? And one time to attach a picture or something like that. Right here. In this town. In this small town. Seen them with two boys, right? Keep this in mind. That means the boys were still living. Or may have been living and was up somebody else's custody. They bought them on the black market or something. Right? So boom. So once the dude found out and did his own investigation, the police were like, wait a minute, we don't know nothing about this. I don't know where he getting that information from. But I'm like, that's a lead. That's a good lead. Then he got proof. And then after that, you didn't hear nothing else about that man. No more. All right. So they got the dates in the time when they was CD kids. So boom. Everybody's still looking for the kids. But they been spotted here. They never, boy, and once I tell you, this gonna make sense. So, watch this. With that being said, when he came back to the house, that's when he came back to the house, called the police. Then you're gonna see another police show up, acting like boom, boom, boom. Then he's gonna leave again. Go back down this street. Again. Keep this in mind. People gonna start finding clothes in the desert. Cause you might remember they were like, yeah, you know, the wind blowing and all this. I believe it was like right up in here somewhere. They was planting evidence. So when you listen to the whole story, it hit different to me. Cause only thing I just want to know, I just want to hear their route. All I just want to just hear the route. I don't care about it. You left them in the yard and all of this. I don't care about none of that right now. I just want to know their route and what the police, because he gonna tell you, yeah, the police was in the house keeping us, you know what I'm saying? All of this, and when he said the police was in the house and doing and all of this, think about what that camera saw before the story hit the news. They're just simple. And can keep this in mind. Then you finna understand, boom. The Ryan Singleton story is all in this same area. All right, let's play along. Let's play along. Starting from the house. Listen to this.
Because I don't. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry. If you got any questions.
Oh no, you're good.
Oh, okay.
I was just gonna say, this is the first time we're hearing from you guys, and I can't imagine what you guys are going through. I can't even fathom it. For you guys, for people who are thinking that there's some kind of foul play involved, we just spoke to the biological mother. She says she had a conversation with you guys, and that she thinks there's some kind of foul play involved. That she thinks you guys did something.
And that's understandable.
What's your response to that?
That's understandable. I would think the same.
And let me might add this in there. The reason why they in this house, the reason why they are in this house, could guess who gave him the money for the house? The caseworker. A caseworker. Don't forget about that. And then look, once you think about the apartment in Bakersville they were staying in before they saw that, and there was a neighbor said they did saw the boys. They did saw the boys. But they didn't see the boys, you know what I'm saying, like right after that. Cause when they moved, you know what I'm saying, they moved here. So look, keep this in mind. That body language is revealing. We already synced it. You're gonna see this again. So you already know what the body language telling you. You will understand, like, oh, Bakersville. Then he went to his mama house and stayed with his mama for a little minute. And they didn't even see the kids then. So the kids were never saw at the mama house, at his mama house. But guess what? If you found out what was really going on, guess how they ended up at the kid? Cause her mama worked in a child protective service. Do you get it now? If her mama worked at child protective services, in the same services where they got the kid from, what you think was going on down here? That tell you everything you need to know. Then the police chief, keep this in mind. Y'all know when I be like, man, y'all can trace this stuff back to Hollywood and all of this. When you go back to Kanika Jean case, look at all those celebrities that was around her case. Then you look around his case, look at all the polices that's in movies. The police chief that's on the case got movies, acting gig, commercials, TV roles. Hold up.
Same thing.
Yep.
I mean, that's exactly the point. And if we can find our babies, then guess what? That's no. And that's all I want is to find our babies. That's it. And I talked to her this morning, and I really wanted to tell her that I am completely sorry because we were entrusted with her children, and they came to us, and they became our children. And we named them, and they are our children, and so we want them back. So please, if y'all could get back on what you guys are doing, we should be able to get a hold of somebody. But they took all of our tech, so they wanted to I guess, just rule us out, which makes sense. That's part of the investigation. So that's pretty much it.
Have you guys, you talked to the police all last night.
Yes.
What, so you guys willfully gave them your
Everything.
technology,
Yes.
the car.
Yes.
Did they get how did they get a search warrant? Did you guys?
I
Oh, no
don't see
idea.
why they got one, but they got one. We
Yeah,
would
they
have let them
didn't
take
need one,
anything.
but-
We would have let them take everything. We let them come in and search with us. We asked them to come do that.
What did they take?
Just tech. And that's it. Like our phones.
From the house, though, did they?
Oh, well, I guess, should I answer that? Or?
Answer it to us, yeah.
Okay. So, into the, okay, and I guess, I don't even know.
I see. Yeah, we seriously felt like we needed to be out here. We did. Again, we were told the best are out here looking already. Just to stay put. They have more questions. There was literally a cop with us the whole time in
And
there.
He had sitting down. We would ask, can we go help? They had to sit
Said
down.
nope.
He said, no, we got the best out there.
So
We
it's
need
not-
you guys here in case we have more questions.
I don't want you guys thinking we
don't.
didn't try. We actually
We
looked.
That's why the police told him stay in the house. We'll handle that. You see what I'm saying? And that's what they would do. That's what they did. They followed the orders. They did everything what the police told them to do. They cooperated. You know what I'm saying? But the police, and if you look at it, the police got to get on these people's ass to protect they ass. So that's when you got to put your uniform on, right? And go turn this man in that something he was a part of that the system orchestrated. That the system orchestrated this. It wasn't what he came up with and what she came up with. It was what they had going on with the system, bro. Simple as that.
Needed to contact the parents. Do you guys have the video?
5 words you pronounce wrong. 2 years before your brain starts shutting down. Dementia.
Which produced nothing. We've done several interviews since then. We've had several agencies involved. We've been working nonstop on this thing since the 21st of December till today. As we're still working, we've been working around the clock. We have several agencies involved, like I said, and we're doing our best to locate the kids. So that's all we've got at this time. There are things in the works, but I don't want to taint or compromise the investigation at this time.
How many agencies are working with you on this case?
I would say at this time 4.
We've noticed Bakefield Police Department cars up here as well.
That's why you got 4 agencies. Look at the questioning and look at the answer. Cause I'm gonna tell you something. He ain't good at lying at all. Even though he finna be lying, he gonna tell you some of that part true that you could put a bait on and put a hook out there and be like, oh, this what he did.
And I understand they're taking some video from some neighbors' homes. How much are they involved in this investigation?
At this point, just peripheral. They're helping us out.
And the FBI?
That's the same video that got them caught up. Boom. That's the same video that got these people caught up because of that neighbor video showing interacting with the police before the 911 call claiming, I lost my boys.
The same.
Okay. It's been more than a week now since the boys disappeared. It's cold up here. This is desert. In your gut, do you feel these boys are still alive?
I can't comment on that, whether I think they're alive or not. I do suspect foul play. We haven't been able to put together, how the boys got out of the yard or where they've gone.
Chief,
But we're doing our
on the
best.
Attorney General's website,
And that's how you start a lie. Let's start out, Trezell say, you left them in the backyard and all this, you went to go get some wood and stuff. And when you came back, they were gone. And we'll start our investigation from there. So we're going to start it off from the wrong side of the story. Boom!
They have the 2 boys missing.
Yes, sir.
listed. On Orrin West, they've got it listed him as a
Fractured leg.
fractured lower left leg as a identifying mark, and that's on Orrin West, listed as a fractured lower left leg.
Meaning that he wasn't able to walk. But if he was walking, he was still injured. You see what I'm saying? Keep that in mind. That also exposed them too. Cause you're gonna be like, wait a minute, this little boy here was injured. And looking at the injury list, that's why they kept the injury. That's why they want to keep the injury a secret. Cause they just like saying a man with 1 foot walked out.
I can't comment on that either.
Okay, but there was no knowledge before that Orrin West had a fractured lower left
Not to
leg?
my knowledge, no.
Okay, well, knowing that, what does that tell you, if anything?
I can't comment on that either. I mean, fractured leg can happen, especially with small children, any way possible. I mean, they fall down a lot. So, but I
Why do you
can't.
suspect foul play in this case?
We have no way of knowing how they got out of the yard. Nothing that shows how they got out of the yard, and
That's why you suspected foul play. You didn't turn around and question the neighbors, and you know what I'm saying, was look for any type of suspicious activity or pedophile in the area. Why all of a sudden foul play? Anything could have happened. You know, somebody could have seen kids and pulled up, snatched them. You know what I'm saying? But they know it was foul play out top.
if they wandered out of the yard, we don't know.
What message do you have for the community about, how committed they've been to trying to find these 2 boys and how to maintain, how to stay resolute during this time when we still don't know much of anything?
We absolutely appreciate everything from the community. I don't know if you know that first night, there was literally hundreds of people out here looking for them, and we truly appreciate that. I think this whole community is invested in this thing. My department is invested in this thing to the point where, we don't want to give up. We want to locate them any way we possibly can. We're accepting any information that you could possibly give us, any tips. We're following up on everything.
Sir,
Yes, sir.
On that note, we've had people ask, should they still look for the boys? It's cold. People have been looking in the night. Should the community still look
I would never
for
tell anybody to stop, but if they have anything that they could give us, we'll definitely take it.
Where are the parents at this time?
I don't know. I know that I don't know exactly where they are. No.
Did police advise them to get out of the house, or because
No.
there was a search warrant?
No.
Are they in the house? You don't know.
No.
So, if you guys needed to contact the parents, do you guys have the availability to do that? Or
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Are the parents named suspects in this case?
Not at this time.
Chief, as you know,
There are no named suspects at this time.
while it's possible that the boys could have been picked up by a complete stranger,
Absolutely.
isn't it true that in these types of cases, the majority of times, some family member or somebody known to the family is involved in abducting children?
In my experience, it's been very common. Yes.
That it's usually a family member.
It could be. Yes.
Do you have any of the other 4 kids in custody right now? Are they in police custody?
Oh, the other 4 kids are in protective custody right now. Yes.
And have you questioned them at all? How old
I
are
can't
they?
comment on that right now.
Do you know how old they are? Could you tell us?
I don't want to comment on that either.
Average age?
Just going back to the day these kids were reported missing, just to confirm, that was Monday night, correct?
Monday night,
And-
21st of December.
And who reported them missing?
Parents.
Okay. You guys mentioned that there was a lot of folks.
When I started doing this technique to help with my wrinkles and saggy skin, my friends laughed at me. But when they saw the changes in me, they started doing it themselves.
Left from the backyard. We noticed a lot of tools were used in the backyard. Can you talk about some of the work, what you guys were trying to reveal back there?
We're just trying to dig up anything, any clues that we can possibly find to find out where they had gone, and also to confirm that they're not in the backyard.
How extensive was the digging in the backyard?
Fairly extensive.
Anything useful turn up?
No.
What message do you have for anyone? I feel like someone out there knows something that more that might help you guys move forward in this. What message do you have for someone who knows?
I definitely believe people know. Someone knows, and I would hope that person would come forward. I mean, we got two young, I mean, in my opinion, babies that we don't know where they're at and we can't find them. So if that person or any of those people have any idea where these kids are or can give us any information that we could follow up, it would be truly appreciated.
It's been over a week. At what point does this become a cold case? Is there still a lot that needs to be?
Oh yeah, it's not even close to becoming a cold case. It's an active investigation. It's going on right now, as we speak. I guarantee you.
What are the steps moving forward for your guys and the other agencies involved?
Just to continue to evaluate all the evidence involved and interview anybody that we think is a person of interest and gather as much intel as we possibly can until we come to a conclusion.
Do you think you're going to go back in the house at any point? You have that search warrant still, right?
It's absolutely possible, yes.
Okay.
What about the biological parents in Bakersfield? Have they been cooperative in this investigation?
For the most part, yes. Yes.
California City has the third largest land area in the entire state.
That is
There's a
correct.
lot of ground to cover, sprawling desert. Have you guys started combing through the desert yet?
No, we have no reason unless we have any other tips that they could possibly be out in the desert. It's been my experience, especially with small children, you always start from the inside out. You start from where were they seen last. And if we feel that we have enough information and enough evidence to expand out, we absolutely will. But at this point, we have no reason to believe that.
The adoptive father told us that, he wished he could go to every house, knock on the door, see if their kids are inside. From a law enforcement perspective, when you say you want to start from where the kids were last seen, how many neighbors have you guys contacted here? And is it difficult to be able to search inside anywhere like that?
But we've contacted just about everybody in this neighborhood, and we've talked to everybody in the neighborhood. Just our goal is to basically locate the kids. So if I come to your door and I knock on, hey, have you seen these kids? And then we move to the next, and we move to the next, and we move to the next. Unless we have any other information that leads us to the point where we can actually enter their home and look for a child, we can't do that.
So it'll be accurate to say, and I apologize if I'm reiterating this, from every neighbor you guys spoke to, not a single sight of them?
No.
When was the most recent that a neighbor cited they've seen the kids?
None of the neighbors have seen the kids.
Ever?
No.
At what point do you guys decide to bring out dogs to try to help out in this investigation?
Done that. It's been done multiple times.
And the canines consistently found that the scent of the children did not leave the house?
Correct.
Just to break that down a little bit, piggybacking off of Perla's thing, when you guys use dogs to search for missing people, if their scent was just even a bit outside of the home, would they actually follow that scent?
Generally, yes, but it all depends on the dog as well. It could be the wind blowing, it could be the dog can't pick up the scent, it could be a lot of things going on, but that's the general idea. That's the hope.
Could you explain how police were able to get a warrant inside the house and retain custody over the rest of the 4 kids? Even 2 of them are biological.
Oh, that's the fact that the kids are missing. That's the easy part. Obtaining the warrant was easy. I mean, we do every warrant search.
You're allowed enough evidence is the kids were missing and you were able.
That
to
is
get
correct.
custody
When you have
over the other 4.
correct.
Chief, could you clarify though why the kids were put in protective custody from the parents here?
Anytime anything happens in a household where it involves any kids, all the kids are taken out of the household.
Now we've noticed DPD here in California City. We've noticed FBI, and we've noticed that several cars have been parked. Law enforcement undercover vehicles have been parked near here around several streets. Why is that? Can you explain anything?
Oh, we definitely we want to keep an eye on the area, and again, if we ever get any evidence the kids could be anywhere in this neighborhood, and also just to keep an eye on the house and see who comes and goes.
Has there been a human trafficking issue in Cal City or recent cases?
Not that I'm aware of.
And sorry, I just want to go ahead, Perla.
Did the luminol find anything?
Not that I know of.
I just want to piggyback off of a recent question here. When you say whenever there's a situation involving kids, the other children go into protective custody?
Normally, yes.
Well, from my understanding, like, we have a lot of missing, persons cases in Bakersfield, and when a parent reports their child missing, the other kids aren't taken away from them. So what circumstances have to be in play in order for the other children of the household to be in protective custody rather than the custody of their parents?
Well, generally, if there's any kind of a juvenile situation where there's been any kind.
So basically, he just put him on blast. So what's so special about this case that you got to take the kids away from this? And this just ain't really just no normal seizure. How the police really handle things. So basically, the reporters they suspecting wait a minute, something not right with this story, and it's definitely something not right with him. Cause if you now you finna start seeing this one news reporter finna put this man on interrogation about that timestamp. Boom! And once you figured it out, you're gonna be like, oh, you got to investigate the Child Protective Service, the whole system, the crooked police, the force, and everybody who they connected and related to. No wonder why a lot of children come up missing and they got a whole lot of cold cases. Come on now. Cold case. Look how many cold cases they got, bro. I see why they cold. It's like a memorial ground for them. I won't even be surprised they go and revisit some of these bodies they know about, never been discovered. You see what I'm saying? They do this stuff. And keep this in mind. He sing, dance, shuffle, and jive all for Hollywood. He in the movies too. Now keep that in mind. Trick ain't you show right. He got commercial. He in the small movie role. Just like they got going on in the Kaniga Jiggin case.
Neglect or any kind of harm to any of the children, we automatically have to take all the other kids out of the house until there's an investigation done by Child Protective Services.
Saying that based off of that there have been other types of abuses.
No, I'm not saying there was abuse at all. I'm saying the kids are missing, and we can't put that together. So until we determine one way or the other what happened to the children, the other 4 children are taken out of the home. Now the parents can try to go to Children's Services and get the children back, but that's totally up to Children's Services.
Chief, if somebody wants to come forward with information but they're afraid to come forward publicly, how can they do so anonymously and contact you?
They can call our station, leave a number, leave information, whatever they want to do, and we'll get back to them.
Can't you guys trace a phone number? I mean, if somebody really says, look, I don't want to get involved, but here's information you should know. Is there any way they can contact you with being totally anonymous?
Call the station. That's all I can say. That's all I'd hope.
Where else are police and
what are these things that we're doing right now that are really you need to stop? Just stop eating for a little while. Like some people haven't gone an entire 12 hours, their whole life not eating. Allow your body to go into recycle mode. And when you go a day 2, research shows out of UCLA, day 3, you activate your body's natural recycling system. It's called autophagy. And it's incredible.
Searching? Where are they currently searching? Or do they believe that they're still...
I can't comment on that right now.
Okay.
Can you say if you're searching in Bakersfield?
I can't comment on that right now.
Real quick, how about words for the community? Because obviously there are a lot of signs out on the main roadway that are asking where are these boys at.
Of course.
So what are your words to the people that are asking that same question and asking these same questions that we are asking you?
Well, my answer to that is that's my question as well. I want to find these kids as much as anybody else. And so whatever information and we're actively at it. I mean, around the clock. We haven't given up on this thing. We want to keep on it as as diligently as we can, because we know the clock's ticking and we really need to find them. So my answer to those people would be, I want to find them as bad as you do, and if you have any information, please come forward and give it to us and we'll follow up.
Chief, you're not a very large police department here, a small police department.
We're very small.
In the city. How is this case, what impact has it had on your resources?
Huge, huge. I got people that are on their days off coming in. I got people that are supposed to be working days that, you know, I was putting 19, 20 hours in last week myself. So my guys, they're working tirelessly on this thing and not complaining because they want to find these kids as bad as everyone else.
Do you have any reason to believe that the kids are still inside the house?
No,
Even though the canines didn't smell their scent?
no, and I've been in the house multiple times.
And Mr. Walker, just talking about the different agencies helping out, part of it is because to help with manpower, correct?
Correct.
If you could talk about general assignments, the FBI, what aspect of it are they looking at? What aspect is KCSO looking at? Do you guys have those kind of designations on who does what?
Well, basically, all those bigger agencies, they have all the other resources like the crime labs and that sort of thing. So they're really helping us out with that, analyzing any evidence we have and any clues that we can come up with. So that's a real big help for us.
Para Telemundo, ¿gusta decir algo en español? Lo que sea, nada más para la gente que esté escuchando, porque hay gente hispana que vive aquí en California City.
Sí.
¿Qué mensaje le tiene usted a la persona, a la comunidad hispana, para ayudar a encontrar a estos dos niños?
My Spanish is really bad, but yo quiero mucho ayudar, por favor. Dígame, por favor. Llámame, por favor.
Para encontrar a los niños.
Sí, por favor.
¿Piensa usted que los niños están vivos? ¿Piensa usted, do you believe that the kids are still alive?
I want to believe that, yes.
Gracias.
Thank you very much.
A lot of people have been wondering about what constitutes an Amber Alert and why one
Generally,
wasn't sent out.
an Amber Alert, the way I understand it, to the best of my knowledge and my experience, would be if we have a known person who has taken the child and we have a vehicle information about that vehicle, so we put that out for all the drivers and all the commuters to be on the lookout for that vehicle and that license plate number, so in fact we can recover the child. We don't have any of that information at this time.
I also want to confirm one thing just to make sure we're putting out the most accurate info. You said that since this couple has been here, that there was never a sighting of the children?
Not that we know of. They've only been here since September.
Okay. Was there a sighting of the parents' other children?
Not that I know of.
Okay.
No.
Can we ask a question as a community? What
Sure.
do you want us to do? Because I heard you say you guys aren't going to go to the desert. Do you want us to be?
If whatever you feel that you want to do in that aspect is more than it's welcome.
See that? He don't want nobody to search that desert. Cause that's where a lot of bones, that's where a lot of people gonna find, like, wait a minute. Don't y'all know how many bones they found? Looking for the twin boys? They were looking for them. But they end up finding more bones. So that's the last thing they want. Well, we ain't got no resources to search the desert and everything, you know. I can't tell. All those AVTs and off-road vehicles, emergency vehicles they got, you can fly a drone. You mean tell me you can't get a helicopter to hover around that giant? Simple. But hey, this how these devils work.
Whatever, I'm not going to close any doors. Whatever's open, I'm willing to take. And if you can come up with any clues, any information that we can follow up on, we most happily will.
Okay, thank you. We just wanted, because we heard you say earlier, you guys weren't going out there, but there's so many of us still willing to.
And that's fine.
We know it's vast. We know
Right.
you guys only have a certain number of people.
Right,
So
and
we're still willing to help.
Yes, ma'am, and I appreciate it. But our resources, we have to concentrate on where we saw them last. And if something leads us to expand our search, we absolutely will.
Thank you.
And I'm
Answer about the parents' van. Oh, after her.
I'm sorry.
Somebody yesterday informed me they spotted a vehicle that looked identical to the parents' van
coming back from the direction of Cerro Saddle on Sunday, the day before the boys were reported missing.
I can tell you that's not possible.
Most people are too lazy to do this, but it saves homeowners a fortune. I worked in construction for 20 years now, and it shocks me how many people pay a fortune to upgrade their gutters when they're a
Let me dispel that right now. That's not possible.
Are there any other rumors?
Can you say it again, Chief? What's not possible again?
That the van was seen somewhere out near Civil Shadow yesterday.
No, it was seen the Sunday before they were reported.
Oh.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Well, we can follow up on that. Sure.
Yeah, we reported
Thanks.
it and, never heard back.
Okay.
So
Well,
you think you should comb the desert, like, go out like in spurs where everybody goes in the same direction and look for those kids?
Sure, that's a possibility.
I think that's a good possibility.
But right now we're not going to spend the resources on that right now. We're concentrating on right here.
Chief, there's obviously a lot of information out there. Are there any main rumors that you want people to just stop spreading? Is there anything else you could dispel?
Main rumors are rumors, and the people are going to say what they're going to say. But just so they know that we haven't given up on this thing, and we are working still diligently to try to find these kids.
And I'm being asked to ask this question as well. In the last decade, there have been several unsolved either missing persons cases or homicide cases. As a police chief, what trend have you noticed here that contributes to that? What do people have to think about when they say,
well, I need you to be more specific. What are you referring to?
Well, we did a story with the police chief at the time, Mr. Hurtado, back in 2019, and we talked about the $25,000 rewards that you guys now have for multiple unsolved cases.
Yeah. Yes, but right now I have a full-time crime analyst that's working on any cold cases that we have. But any city that you have is going to have cold cases. It's just the larger the city, more cases you're going to have. Right now we're holding 8 cases. And again, I have a crime analyst who works full-time on that. And
what has he shared with you? Because you said the bigger the city, the more cases there's going to be.
Well,
in the last decade, this is a population of about 14,000. I think 2,500 of them are counting the prison population. So what do you think contributes to this sort of crime here, the missing persons, the homicides? What are factors that come into play there?
Again, I think we only have 1 missing person at this time, and the other are unsolved homicides. But we're a small city, you're right. And we've only had 8 at this time. So if I was in a city of, say, Los Angeles of 4.5 million people, they're probably carrying a couple hundred cold cases right now. So, like this year alone, we've had no homicides at all. So it's just a matter of population and crime.
One more question for me. Did the parents deny to take a lie detector test?
I can't comment on that.
And would you be able to provide us the 911 call that they made initially?
Can I provide it?
Yeah, the recording of it. I'm sure police have all the recordings of.
I'd have to look into that right now with our investigators and see if they want to release that at this point.
Sounds good.
Okay?
Sorry, last question for me.
It's under the authorities, or the foster.
We have it in custody.
Sorry, Chief, last question for me. Can you confirm, since the beginning of this incident from last week, that there has been nobody detained or arrested during this entire investigation?
There's no one been arrested.
Has anyone been detained?
Well, people have been questioned.
Okay.
Formally detained, no.
And not held in custody upon their own will?
No.
Okay. Thank you.
Before we called the police.
Yes.
And I imagine the mind-boggling part is the search for information. What happened? Where are they?
Yes.
Et cetera, et cetera.
And
And just so we are able to present the information correctly, at what time did you guys notice your kids went missing, and at what time were they reported missing to the police?
It's about, I believe, I think it was about 4:30, going on 5. It was getting dark, like I said. 5-ish. That's about it. That's when everything played out.
And then when did you guys call the police to report them missing?
After we searched
Yeah.
a little bit around here, it was dark, so we definitely we got worried.
Would you say it was maybe within an hour, a couple hours?
No, it was within minutes of us getting finished with our search.
Okay.
It was within minutes.
Okay.
I'm done.
what do you guys want people at home to understand about this situation? For them, you know, even speaking about what you guys are feeling is difficult. What do you want them at home to understand about this whole situation?
We're going through it. It's difficult. I mean, everybody's making their own their own conclusions. They don't know anything. We're not sure like everything. We're not sure. We said what we knew, and if anybody has seen them or anything, please call the police department.
Would you be willing to provide pictures, or do you have any?
They, I have older pictures. All my newest were on my phone.
Okay.
A lot of people are speaking of this as, you know, after the math, past tense. I want to talk about your kids in present tense. What kind of boys are these? Tell us about the boys.
Very playful, very rambunctious, and they do love to wrestle. They do love to kind of get rough with each
They're
other.
kids.
They're kids. Of course, they would love to go out, but so during the pandemic, we wasn't trying to go, you know, out here, and so we stayed inside. Yes, we did. We searched before we called the cops. That's what we were saying.
What time did they come up missing?
They came missing right before it got dark. And then we called. I searched the property. I even drove around this neighborhood right here. I even talked to a gentleman on that side, one of those streets over there. I said, "Did you see some little black kids?"
You go that way looking for them?
That's the way I was gonna come. But when I came back home, I decided to call the cops because it was dark. They couldn't have got away that fast.
And why did it take two people to go in the house and leave?
That the West family left. It also shows that there was only, it allegedly shows that there was only 4 kids returning to the property. Is this misinformation, or are people just going to continue spreading that the kids were gone before then?
I have not reviewed that video at all, so I couldn't tell you. And I don't, again, I don't even know the date of that video in question, so I don't know. I know the kids were dropped. Some of them were dropped off in Bakersfield prior to the other 2 going missing, but you know, again, I have not reviewed that video, so I can't speak to that.
Okay, and it doesn't mean another law enforcement agency hasn't reviewed it. It just means that CCPD may have not seen it, right?
That is correct.
Okay. Okay, I'm trying to think of anything else that I could put up there. If BPD viewed that information, since you guys are the lead investigators, if there was something of note, they would have informed you guys, though, right?
Correct.
And BPD didn't inform you guys, hey, look, we saw surveillance footage that showed something alarming.
No, they have not shared that.
Now you see why they didn't share in that video. Cause you know that video showed him working with the police before the 911 call. I don't even see why they got up on the investigation on that. You seen suspect police activity before the 911 call, and they don't want to share their footage to the public. Now you know why.
That with us. So again, that leads me back to, if we are the lead on this, and if I haven't heard about it, I don't know if it actually exists. They've been very forthcoming. They share everything with us, and they have not shared that with me at this point.
Okay. Now,
if you ain't saw it, it don't exist to you.
The timestamp of this video is also in question. It said 16. It was in military time. You guys received the call for them going missing at like 5:45ish, right?
Correct. On
Watch this. Y'all heard the question? Watch this. He finna mess him up with this one.
Going missing at like 5:45ish, right?
Correct.
Correct. 5:45. Keep this in mind. Write it down right now. Don't forget this. Don't forget this. He finna slip up so bad. Oh, that's correct. Y'all got the call at 5:45, right? Yes, when it hit the news. I mean, when it hit the dispatch, right? Yes. Confirm. Remember that neighbor video? What you saw before that? He finna interrogate him like a detective, because he also gonna ask him the same question in a different form and style, and caught him red-handed. And this support his theory about, put it like this here, the next answer he gonna hit him with, the same answer he just hit him with. In the middle of the interview, he gonna hit him with the same question, but in a different way of affirming it. And the way he gonna answer it is gonna confirm the video that was suspicious to him. You see what I'm saying? Watch this. 5:45. Correct. That's when they hit the dispatch. Yes, correct.
On the 21st, which is a Monday.
On the 21st, which is a Monday. Okay, so I'm assuming maybe his clock was an hour back because it showed Travell West searching, according to his time, around 4:30ish.
That will be 16:30 military time.
Yeah. From what you guys have found, is that the case?
He said you go an hour back. He went an hour up. Trying to support the theory that, oh yeah, this is what you'll see around 6 something when we showed up. Right? Y'all see that? And he say an hour down. Look what the police showing on video. Again.
I'm going missing at like 5:45ish, right?
Correct. On the 21st, which is a Monday.
On the 21st, which is a Monday. Okay, so I'm assuming maybe his clock was an hour back because it showed Travell West searching, according to his time, around 4:30ish.
That will be 16:30 military time.
Yeah. From what you guys have found, is that the case? Was he searching for, because he told us he called within minutes of them going missing. Were you guys able to determine that too?
The records are by a court order because anything involving juveniles is protected.
Really? Even if could you just then possibly just the only thing I really want to know too is, do we know the time? Because I've been given such different, various information on what time this was. What time was the 911 call placed to?
What I have here is 1854, which would be that translates to 6:54 p.m.
Right. So it was about 7 o'clock. Okay.
Now, the timestamp of this video is also in question. It said 16. It was in military time. You guys received the call for them going missing at like 5:45ish, right?
Correct. On the 21st, which is a Monday.
Go to the scene. So look.
Yeah,
look
the
at him.
feds, the FBI has it.
He's gonna look at him. He kind of hesitated, then he went. I don't know if you did figure.
I've seen that.
Then his wife hesitated. So now he goes and he tells the cops, and that's his wife walking in the back, telling them, "You might want to put your camera just a little back so they can see."
Is that good? That should be good.
Now, the police think they were smart. They had their narrative rolling until this footage came out. So what they did was this. We just gonna tell the public That's when he made the call, and that's when we showed up. Know what I'm talking about? Instead of telling everybody, oh, this was way. This like this like an hour. This like an hour before the 911 call. Right? Ain't this is so what you saying is that what happened an hour before the 911 call. Now watch how they report him finna hit him with this one.
Yeah. So he tells the cops that, hey, my 2 and 3 year old or 3 and 4 year old is missing, right? So the cop takes off. It's her walking. Or him, I don't know, but they're not looking.
They're not looking, bro.
They're not looking.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They're not looking. You don't have no kids missing, bro.
No.
So he goes and he's hopping back in his truck. Okay.
Right.
This is what I call him playing the little movie part. You know what I mean? He's setting up the stage pretty much.
He's setting it up, right?
You know what I mean?
Right.
Well, I'm searching too. I'm doing this. So he hops back in his car when the cop pulls up, right? But he was just.
So it makes you think that what them police really doing in the house? Is they tamper with evidence? But they there for a reason with flashlights an hour before.
Standing around before that.
Doing
so
nothing.
he comes out the same way how he pulled in, came out the same. Look what he does. What is he doing, bro? Look what he does.
Exact same.
Look what he does. Makes that same freaking right turn,
Exact
bro.
same right turn again.
Why would you go
Going
there?
the exact same direction again.
Right?
Yeah.
And
Hi. Hello. This doesn't make. This is crazy, bro. Where's this cop going? He's going.
He's searching. He's
searching.
He's frantically searching. You could tell he's searching.
Yeah, no.
You could tell.
You can tell the difference.
Yeah, you could tell the difference right away between someone searching and someone not searching. You know what I mean?
Yep. So you guys seen this?
The records are by a court order because anything involving juveniles is protected.
Really? Even if could you just then possibly just the only thing I really want to know too is, do we know the time? Because I've been given such different, various information on what time this was. What time was the 911 call placed to?
What I have here is 1854, which would be, that translates to 6:54 p.m.
Right. So it was about 7 o'clock. Okay.
So that means that's a couple of hours ahead of time. Man, that's a couple of hours ahead of time that you see the police at the house going on 5, 6, 7. That's 2 hours later. He will make the call 2 hours later. Starting off early that morning. Keep that in mind. Do they hit different now?
Okay. Okay. So as far as what I need to tell the.
He stood here. He was gone for 4 minutes, 5 minutes, but he stood here for what? 8?
Yeah, something like that.
8, 9 minutes. Standing here, waiting for the cops. He wasn't searching at all. Is that the cop again coming back, or?
Another officer. So another officer pulls up, parks in the front, and he's gonna go hit the whole backyard now. You know what I mean?
Hey, can you guys, am I too close to the TV? Can you guys see it pretty good or what? Let me know. Let me know if you guys can see this footage. I appreciate you guys, joining. As you guys know, this is my second channel, guys, so we can't get into the first channel, so I'm pretty much just gonna.
Now look. All right. Since we know this happened in this area, right? In California City. Right? Now let's focus on this whole area right here, just this area alone, well, including Las Vegas. Las Vegas got time out. But right here is a lot of famous murder that went viral. Since we know about the Austin case, let's go to this one. Hold on. Not this one. Where you at? I ain't even put it in. Hold on, matter of fact, Matrice Richardson. Y'all remember this story? Matrice Richardson? Yeah. Hold on, y'all. All right. Let me go to this. This what. Remember this story? Where this story at?
A sad ending to a strange story that began nearly a year ago. Those skeletal remains found in Malibu Canyon earlier this week have been identified as Matrice Richardson. The remains were found in a steep ravine near Piuma Road, about 6 miles from the Lost Hills Sheriff Station in Agora.
Hold on. Where Malibu at again? Malibu down here. Somewhere over here.
Where she was last seen after being released by sheriff's deputies. Well, that's where Gigi Graciette is live right now with more on this tragic ending. Gigi?
And of course, Matrice Richardson's family and friends have been hoping against hope that she would be found alive. Just in the last couple of weeks, there had been reports she was seen in Las Vegas, but tragically that was not Matrice in Las Vegas because the coroner says her remains were here in Malibu, and they've been there for at least 6 months.
And it's to my sadness and disappointment that I'm reporting to you that it is the confirmed remains of Matrice Richardson.
Sadly, it is now official. The skeletal remains found in Malibu on Monday are those of Matrice Richardson, positively identified by the coroner and a forensic anthropologist.
I was determined that could have been there for 6 months up to.
And don't y'all know, Malibu is where all the celebrities stay at. Keep this in mind. At that time, look, this where all the celebrities stayed at. And remind y'all, before the California fire started, it started in Malibu. So look how close this is. You see this? From right here in Cali City to Malibu. See that? Bakerville, Malibu, my Richmond. The same thing, bruh. It's a pattern. It's a pattern. We finna find the location. And I'm finna show it to y'all because you got to listen to the story how she ended up in jail, bro.
over a year.
The finding of Mitrice's decomposed body in an abandoned marijuana patch, the tragic end to a very strange story that began with a 24-year-old's bizarre comments and behavior at a Malibu restaurant last September, where she was arrested for not paying her dinner bill, but later released from the LA County Sheriff's Malibu Lost Hills station. But the release and subsequent search for Mitrice has been widely criticized by her family and friends, who are suing the department.
They just slept on it, and they took their sweet-ass time with it.
LA County Sheriff said they followed the proper protocol, releasing Richardson on her own recognizance because she showed no sign of mental illness or being impaired. And in a just-released report by the Sheriff's Office of Independent Review, investigators agreed, finding deputies acted legally and reasonably in taking Miss Richardson into custody and then releasing her from custody. But friends,
it was the reason why they locked up in the first place, because they said she was mentally ill. She was unstable. But when she get to jail, oh no, you know what I'm saying, she ain't mentally ill, she ain't crazy. They try to say she was drunk or under the influence. But guess what though? Because y'all know they found her body part dismembered too.
With this, how did she get down there? We know she didn't walk down there. The sheriffs have the answers.
now, in this 57-page report, it also says that there is no evidence that any LA County Sheriff's deputy had anything to do with the disappearance of Mitrice Richardson. As to how she dies, well, the coroner says he is still working on that, but sadly, we may never know. Reporting live in Agora, Gigi Graciette, Fox 11 News.
Now y'all see what I be saying? It's always gonna be some kind of temple around. Just like the Orrin Royston case. The altar room. Come on, man. Look at this stuff. Ain't no telling what be going on in her, bro. After dark. Look. Just letting y'all see. There's always gonna be something, cause y'all know what be going on. Come on now. Come on now. I don't think they just be really holding church service like how everybody think they is. Cause some of those people do, those victims that be surviving Hollywood, I always say, man, they walked in temples and everything. Say, man, we was in one house, it was like it was a temple. I won't even be surprised, man. They got underground tunnels that would lead into these little temples, bro. I'm just trying to look at how Satan works. Because I'm clearly seeing, so she gonna be up here, right? Right here. So she gonna be in this area in the mountains. Listen to this. She was an executive assistant, meaning she was a secretary or something, or that source. And also a dancer. We don't know what kind of dance. It could be Broadway or hip hop dance or some scripting going on. I don't know. I don't know much about her, but we finna find out. Read with me, gang.
Mitress Levon Richardson, born April 30th, 1985, remains found August 9th, 2010, was a 24-year-old African-American woman who went missing on September Lost Hills Sheriff Station, where she had been taken.
Now we finna get into the tea. Cause just look at the area, right? Just look at the area. All right. I remember Paranoia Ranch. You know what I'm talking about? Oh yeah, I remember all this stuff here. I gotta get back to that. So here go the police station. And y'all know Calabasas. Don't y'all know P. Diddy stay up here too? Y'all know P. Diddy got a mansion in the Calabasas. Just coming, yeah. Oh man, this getting worse and worse. Look, keep that in mind. I got to go back to the Los Angeles fire. Cause we just went over this on the Los Angeles fire, right, with that big old fire. And Kai Sinet Nim. Oh man, Kai Sinet Nim. Alright. So this the police station department. She gonna be jailed here. So just look at the area. She could be walking. All of this. You know what I'm talking about? All of this. Look at the surrounding. Anybody just say, man, if you getting out of jail, bruh, first thing you finna do, get away from that joint. And go to the nearest store. A nearest store somewhere or a gas station. Make a call. You ain't gonna wanna go this way. You wanna go somewhere where you can see some stores or something like, here, let me go to Moa's and somebody let me use their phone or something. Get some change or something. Or jump on the bus or call somebody and get away from over here. Or jump on the bus and get out of there, right? But hold up. Check this out.
Malibu / Lost Hills Sheriff Station, where she had been taken after behaving erratically at a restaurant. She was missing for 11 months before being found deceased in August 2010 by park rangers. 1. Richardson's parents have maintained that their daughter should never have been released on her own by the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department, given her obviously disturbed condition. In 2011, the Richardson family settled the civil lawsuit with LA County privately for $900,000. In January 2017, the California Attorney General's office concluded an investigation into the circumstances surrounding Richardson's release from jail and decided not to bring charges against anyone involved in her release. 2. Life and education. Edit. Mitrice Richardson was the daughter of Latice Sutton and Michael Richardson. She was raised by her mother and stepfather Larry Sutton in Covina, California. 3-4. Richardson obtained a Bachelor of Arts degree in psychology in 2008 from California State University, Fullerton, after graduating from South Hills High School in West Covina, California. Richardson was an open lesbian and, at the time of her death, had been dating girlfriend Tessa Moon for about 2 years.
All right. She was bisexual, so she ain't dealing with a man. All right. It could, look, no, she ain't dealing with no man. And we got to see what was motive with this. Why would, you know what I'm saying, if just say like a police officer seen she could have been cute or something and decided to let her go and trail her afterwards and do what he want to do. You know what I'm talking about? Let's see.
Years. 5, 6. She had also competed as a beauty pageant contestant, worked as an intern for a forensic psychologist, and part-time as a dancer in an LGBT strip club. 7.
Okay. What strip club? Cause this gonna be somewhere in Malibu, right? And she got a good background in college. College girl doing her thing, you know, make a little extra money on the side. All right, watch this.
7. Disappearance. Edit. On the evening of September 16th, 2009, Richardson entered the parking lot of Jeffrey's restaurant in
All right. We go to entry. So you go here in the entry. Through here. Oh, they ain't gonna let me get up in that joint? So yeah, boom, you come up in here, right? This where the restaurant at. So everybody will be parked. It ain't just no parking lot, really. So basically, everybody will be parked along the strip, on the strip. You know what I'm talking about? Ain't just, oh, okay, I see what's going on. Yeah, or you can valet or do something, but it ain't like no big parking lot that everybody parking in trying. Cause y'all remember they gonna say something about the parking lot, right? Check this out.
Death of Mitrice Richardson. Article. Talk. From Wikipedia, the free and... On the evening of September 16th, 2009, Richardson entered the parking lot of Jeffrey's restaurant in Malibu. Due to what staff and patrons at the restaurant described as bizarre behavior and the fact that she was unable to pay her $89 bill, the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department from the Malibu/Lost Hills station was called to assess her condition. 8. The officers on the scene purportedly administered a field sobriety test and determined that she was not intoxicated and not under the influence of any substance. She was arrested on charges of suspicion of not paying for the meal and possession of less than an ounce of marijuana.
So that's kind of strange, saying, what if she refused to pay her meal? Because she probably wasn't satisfied with the service or something like that. Then they got the witness going along with this, you know what I'm saying? Hold up.
Marijuana. 9, 5, 10. According to the arresting officers, upon her arrest, her phone, purse, and money were secured in her car, and her car was towed to a tow yard on the Pacific Coast Highway.
Now, one thing. Look at this investigation. Something had to be going on if her phone and her purse would be in the car. She could have had a with her, refused, you know what I'm saying? Because they met up with her, you know what I'm saying? The police could have put the phone and the purse in the car. Anything could have happened at that point, right?
Highway. Richardson was detained and booked at the Malibu/Lost Hills Sheriff's Station approximately 10 miles, 16 kilometers, up Malibu Canyon. Although Richardson's mother informed the station of concern for her daughter's mental health, and despite promises from the station personnel that she would not be released until later in the morning, Richardson was released on September 17, 2009, at 12:28 a.m. with no belongings and no means of calling for assistance. Steve Whitmore, spokesman for the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department, said Richardson was released from jail because she exhibited no signs of mental illness or intoxication. She was fine. She's an adult. She had been invited to wait in the lobby, but declined.
But what happened to the charges about not paying for the meal? So that had to been made up, right? Hold on.
Declined. 9. Several hours later, at 6:30 a.m., she was seen in the backyard of former KTLA news anchor Bill Smith in Monte Nido.
Now do that make sense? In the backyards of Bill Smith, news anchor. I see who he is. Did anybody know that? I don't think nobody did.
What? Mystery still unsolved 17 years later. It was on this day in 1995 that William Smith died from a brutal beating outside the American Legion in Riviera Beach. But there's still hope this cold case could start heating up. Ted White joins us live from that crime scene. Ted?
There's still no major leads in helping to solve this cold case murder, but at least one family is holding on to hope that someone will pass along some information to police to catch some cold-hearted criminals. Inside her Jensen Beach home, Nancy Beaumont wonders where the years have gone and why the people who killed her husband have not been brought to justice. On April 13th,
Oh my God, I just found out that my data is all over the dark web. So I found this tool that does a scan of the dark.
All right, some circle of life stuff now really hits close to home. Among the many privileges of growing up here in Los Angeles and then working here is the people I watched and admire on TV when I was growing up suddenly, incredibly became my colleagues, my coworkers. So it's with pleasure and pride that we continue the legacy here of folks like Hal Fishman, Stan Chambers, Larry McCormick. And a confession too, I didn't just grow up watching Channel 5. I also watched Channel 11. And if you're my age, you might well recall the true forerunner to any of the fun and freewheeling newscasts that we enjoy here today. Fox had a successful comedy soap opera of sorts called Mary Hartman, Mary Hartman. And afterwards, they ran this almost comedy newscast called Metro News, Metro News. It was very innovative, absolutely hilarious. And one of the reporters and anchors on Metro News was a local legend, you see his picture here, named Bill Smith. Bill also anchored the afternoon news on Channel 11 with Nancy Nelson. Lots of people watch that show. Flash forward about 20 years from Metro News to the KTLA Morning News. Eric and Mark and I are all working here. And so too was the great reporter and our friend Bill Smith. I really liked Bill Smith. He did consistently fantastic work for us for over a decade. Bill died yesterday. Here's a look at some of the work he did here.
He's somewhere in LA at a mystery bathroom location. Hi, Bill.
Yeah, hi. You know, I want it on the record. This is serious journalism. I know we get a little silly sometimes in the morning news here, but in this case we don't. This is thank you very much.
He just loved doing what he did. He just loved it. This was his dream job.
Bill can write a story about anything. Anything the producers gave him to do a story about that day.
Krispy Kreme, very famous in the East.
I see why. Come on, gang. This how they be getting over. Come on, bro. All right. She in his backyard. All right. In his backyard, you just got the little information, the background. He a comedy news anchor. He can write stories and you know what I'm saying? Ain't no telling he could be a Mason and anything. Man, my eye wide open to this stuff. Let's go.
Death of Mitris Richardson. Article. Talk. From Wikipedia. On the evening of September 16th, 2009, Richardson entered the parking lot of Jeffrey's restaurant in Malibu. Due to what staff and patrons at the restaurant described as bizarre behavior and the fact that she was unable to pay her $89 bill, the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department from the Malibu/Lost Hills station was called to assess her condition. 8. The officers on the scene purportedly administered a field sobriety test and determined that she was not on January 9th, 2010, for months after she was reported missing, the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department conducted one of the largest-scale searches in the history of the department. Over 300 volunteers trained in search and rescue operations participated in the 18 square mile, 47 square kilometers, search in the area of Malibu Canyon. The search included both air and ground searches of creeks, trails, and ridges.
So she will be coming from her, heading this way, this way. I don't know how they look, bro. All right.
Death of Mitris Richardson. Article. Talk. From Wikipedia, the free encyclopedia. Mitris Richard. And January 9th, 2010, for months after she was reported missing, the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department conducted one of the largest-scale searches in the history of the department. Over 300 volunteers trained in search and rescue operations participated in the 18 square mile, 47 square kilometers, search in the area of Malibu Canyon. The search included both air and ground searches of creeks, trails, and ridges. Richardson was not found during the search.
Hold up. What? You mean to tell me? Man, it's the murder, rape, child molestation. He gets to everywhere with rape and murder. 18. I got to get into this. Hold on.
Search 11. Maurice Dubois, father of slain Escondido, California, teen Amber Dubois, assisted Richardson's family in a 2-day search on June 5th and 6th, 2010, in the Monte Nido area of Malibu Canyon. Over 100 private citizen volunteers participated in the search of the area. Although Richardson's remains were not discovered, searchers found racially and sexually offensive graffiti on the walls of a culvert in the canyon. The graffiti was freshly painted, and paint cans, brushes, and other potential evidence were left at the scene. 12. The creek bed in Malibu Canyon where Richardson's naked mummified remains were eventually discovered is adjacent to a 21-acre, 8.5 hectares, ranch that is known for producing pornography. It is very secluded and has direct access to the creek bed. When her body was discovered, the detectives on the case
Look, check this out, y'all. Hold on, wait a minute. He went from the police station, ended up at the back of a news anchor house, and somehow ended up here in the canyons. She ain't doing that walking, bro. This where P. Diddy and them stay at, right here. I can't just pinpoint. I know it's somewhere in here. Golly.
Case removed her body against the order of the coroner. Though residents reportedly heard screams in that area several nights after Richardson disappeared, 13, her death was deemed to not be a homicide. There was no foul play. 14.
Hold up, y'all. What? And you put that in. And look at all the murders coming up. Hold on. New footage of Gene Edmonds' secret underground tunnel is going viral. Hold on now, I can't go along with it. What?
Authorities investigating the deaths of legendary actor Gene Hackman and his wife, Betsy Arakawa.
Now I gotta find some legit news on there. Hold on, gang. I'll be right back.
Panama City Beach, where you can be you. The longer the walk on the beach, the shorter the work week feels. Panama City Beach. Make it yours at the Real Fun Beach.
Homes in Martin County were damaged by Hurricane Nicole, and the storm also took a toll on the county's beaches. Our Steve King joining us from Hutchinson Island with a look at the aftermath.
Martin County leaders say
(14:15) Media coverage. Edit. Mitris appeared on the cover of People magazine in November 2009-16. Richardson's disappearance was covered on an episode of Disappeared on the Investigation Discovery Channel, entitled Lost in the Dark. It first aired on November 19, 2012, as the Season 6 premiere. 17. Richardson's disappearance is featured on Season 3 of Hell and Gone podcast by journalist and private investigator Catherine Townsend. Lawsuits. Edit. Richardson's family has filed several lawsuits against the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department for releasing her from jail even though, they claim, she was experiencing severe bipolar disorder at the time. 1819 In 2011, her parents, who had sued separately, were awarded $450,000 each. 20 Richardson's girlfriend, Tessa Moon, refutes claims that Richardson had any mental illness. 5. Richardson's family also asked the California Attorney General's office to review the sheriff's office's handling of the case. In November 2015, after reviewing 500 pages of documents sent with a request, the Office of California then Attorney General Kamala Harris replied that it had not found any grounds for criminal charges against the sheriff or his deputies. The Attorney General's office also found no evidence that the sheriff's office had mishandled Richardson's family's complaint against it. However, in January 2016, the California Attorney General's office reversed itself and announced it was beginning a criminal investigation of the case. 20. On December 30, 2016, the California Attorney General's office concluded that there was insufficient evidence to support criminal prosecution of anyone involved in the handling of the case. 2. See also. Edit. Greater Los Angeles Portal. List of solved missing person cases. List of unsolved deaths. References. Edit. Alexander Nazarian on April 21, 16 at 7:01 a.m. April 21, 2016. Why secrecy and suspicion surround the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department. Newsweek. Retrieved December 29.
Nah, so you mean to tell me, man, this girl went from the police station, from up here, back to down here? Then you got the police walking right after her.
Being here at Joffrey's, knowing that her last touch of freedom was really here, how does that make you feel, being here 9 years later?
In 9 years.
I can't play all that music.
Grammarly is basically like an AI writing partner that can help you solve all of this. For example, here's a bunch.
What one technological advancement do you wish had never been invented? Cell phones. Although when you're stranded, they help contact your family in the need of a spare tire or just in any need of emergency, but they also cause a lot of accidents and they cause a lot of friendships from forming because as soon as people get out of class, the first thing they want to do is talk on their cell phones. So I just wish that cell phones would be limited to just emergencies only.
Damn. This is crazy, bruh. Hold on. So let's go back here. She was last seen, this where I'm at, right here. Where is, gotta match the terrain. Oh shit, right here. Damn, I just pinpointed that. Right here. Alright, if this is the terrain right here, boom, here go the screen. Alright, if I'm right here, it's gonna be right here. It's gonna be right here before this line go up, so we're gonna be right here. In this area. Come on now. Come on now. So let's drive, okay, let's drive down. Boom, boom, boom. Where we going? Hold on, so where they started from? Did they start from the police station? So that's the police station. So they will be coming out of her. All right, that's the police station. They will be turning around, busting the. Boom, they going all the way down. So she would be heading towards her, going up her, over her then. So she would be heading going over her. Man, this what P. Diddy and them be. Man, P. Diddy and them got their houses over here. So why would she be? And then she was found in somebody's backyard in the Malibu Canyon. The news anchor, I believe. Hi y'all, appreciate the thumbs up, gang. Appreciate the thumbs up. So here go the mountains right here. So here go the mountains, what you see. Go to mountain. Right. Oh. And come back down here. So I know she ain't finna walk all the way here. Not in the dark. Until she get right up in this area. In this area? Come on, man. No. You can't even get me to believe that. Not no pretty girl. Pretty girls don't do no walking, bro. And nobody did stop. Cause a neighborhood like this, somebody would have recognized her. So watch this. So they going back down to this area, right over her. She would be scared to walk in this shit. You gotta deal with animals, you know what I'm saying, that be living out here, they'll be crossing the road. No. No phone, no keys. All right. So we could just watch this video then, gang. Let's watch this video. Y'all ride with us. Ride with us. Y'all got an ashtray up there in the front seat. Goddamn it, pass it to me. put your seatbelt on, nigga, cause we don't want to get pulled over by these racist ass police. Put the AC on. It's funky as hell in here. Roll the window down. So now look. Boom. She ain't finna do all of this walking. I'm gonna tell you something. It would have been some type of male would have seen her and would have stopped like, damn, you sure you don't want no ride, boo? Get you out of here. Cause you know you have some men would look at that screen like, damn, she out here. It probably won't even just bother no man. But you know what I'm saying? A nigga will stop it like, man, you sure you don't want no ride out here? You must be, you know what I'm saying? She would have got a ride, bro. Ain't nobody walking nowhere. Where you gonna walk to? Look how long the route. Where you going? Where you gonna walk to? This a long ass ride, bruh. I need a real timeline. Cause that's what the news, they didn't really just give us all the, see, look, check, y'all just see that? I just seen the yellow Lambo. There you go. Come on, man. This is a script that you're gonna see Bentleys, Lambos. You ain't finna just see no regular cars out here. No. Boom. Hi y'all. Appreciate the cash out game. Appreciate the cash out game. I'm gonna tell you, you can't even get me to walk out here. I don't care how screen. I'm not walking out this stuff. Man, you walking down here, you gonna hear coyotes howling at the moon. You gonna hear birds you ain't never heard before. You gonna hear sounds, bro. Like, man, what the hell? You gonna see all type of animals you ain't never read about in the book. You know they got mountain lions, all mountain lions, coyote, wolves. Any animal that live in a fox. All right. So while we ride, we need to get
Zero math skills needed. File your Fed and state returns free with TurboTax. Pay $0 to file.
High above the Malibu hills today, a lone LA County Sheriff's helicopter. Hard to tell if its mission is related to the Mitrice Richardson case, but it's a good guess. It's here among the scrub brush, dusty canyons, and lonely mountain roads that Richardson's body turned up Monday. Sheriff Lee Baca says no overt indications of murder, no bullet holes, blunt force trauma. We spoke with a retired veteran LAPD detective about what that could mean. Does it seem to you like she may have been the victim of foul play, even though they haven't found any evidence of that so far?
Well, in my mind, I would start with that.
She carried herself down a ravine, lay down and died? That doesn't make any sense.
At KJLH Radio this morning, Richardson's father called for
Same thing they said about Kanika Jigga, just lay down and die.
lie detector tests for all deputies involved.
It would be nice if everybody on duty in that sheriff's station would take it.
His contention is that the department is covering up certain aspects of the case because he's filed a lawsuit. The litigation faults deputies for allowing Richardson to leave the Lost Hills Sheriff's Station after being released from custody with no phone, no car, or purse.
And guess what I found out in my research? The area they found her in, don't y'all know this the area they be doing a lot of porn filming in? Is in Malibu. I ain't even know that. That's where they do a lot of filming in Malibu. I ain't lying. I was like, oh, this where they be doing all the porno films at over here in Malibu. This where the sex energy film at. And mysteriously, she ended up in this location. Keep this in mind, she a scribble too.
From there, Richardson embarked on a puzzling course, possibly walking as many as 10 miles to the remote location where she was found. She was spotted 3 times by residents before vanishing. Sheriff's officials say the foliage where the body was found was so thick you needed a machete to cut through it, and it was a couple of miles off the beaten path. But how and why?
A couple of miles off the path? A couple of miles, bruh. Come on, man. They don't even sound right. Oh yeah, they got all this stuff. Somebody been on top of this, John. Shout out to this YouTuber right here. Hold the board press conference. I remember their name came up. They had a drone search. Let's see what's going on, gang. Did we play this one? Man, that's crazy, bruh. Keep in mind, California recently was up on the fire and they burnt a lot of this shit down.
probably switch out. We have a multitude of battery packs, so we just switch out.
So is that there?
That was the dam. At the bottom of that dam, now you see there's no water behind the dam because when they built the dam within 3 years it filled up with sediment. Okay. But there's a sheer drop, it's 95 feet. And we searched that area earlier. Careful, Mom.
Uh-oh.
It's all right.
Yeah.
Oh, there's bricks right there.
What is it?
Bricks right there.
Oh, wow. See, of course.
Can you go upstream a little bit?
Yes.
Back up this way and go back at 101.
There's some zip ties.
We didn't bring out the hug.
Man, somebody took that girl back there, bro. Man, these folk got high surveillance equipments around Malibu. It's gonna be a lot of surveillance footage, bro. Ain't no way then, you know the police gonna be heavily patrol this area to keep people outside this area, bro.
It's best. Okay, make some lanes here.
And one thing, I bet you that's somebody's property that she was on. It just looked like a wooded area, but it's somebody's property. Somebody owns some of that land, bro, that she was found on. Man, can't even fly the goddamn airplane. He need to be drug tested.
How long did it take you to learn to fly it? It took me about a year. I started flying for about 2 months and got tired of it. Then I had to stop for a little while. You ready?
Tired of it? Why?
Probably ain't no real.
It's pretty hard.
It's kind of like board sailing.
You got to take a step back and then start all over again.
See, you ain't know what he doing.
High definition continues.
The search for a missing South LA woman gets a high-tech boost. Authorities used an unmanned drone today to help find Matrice Richardson.
But they ain't gonna show how many times he dropped the motherfucker. So look.
It's something that you guys are looking into, right?
Well, we're trying to identify who these bones belong to, whoever that is.
I was also told that her family has been called out here as well.
I don't know about that. When you say called out here, I don't know what that means. What we do is that we're investigating, as we do routinely with remains that are found, unfortunately, way too often in this area and other areas as well. And so that's what we're doing.
He even said, God damn it, what I thought he said. Hold on.
I was also told that her family has been called out here as well.
I don't know about that. When you say called out here, I don't know what that means. What we do is that we're investigating, as we do routinely with remains that are found, unfortunately, way too often in this area and other.
Like I thought, it's a lot of that going on. That's why they're gonna have to. Cause if you got all those bones there, look. Did y'all heard what Cassidy said about P. Diddy recently in her confession video? That's why Trey Gang still keeping that case alive, right? Because they had to burn all of that down, bruh. It's bones, human body parts, all that. So look, this rung a bell to me. When they first set Hollywood on fire, guess who said it first? Years before that, Alice Carter, the girl. She said, look, once you even go close to the truth, they're going to do whatever try to destroy it. It's going to be wildfire. They're going to try to burn up everything. Bro, when she said that, it stuck with me. And then when it actually happened, that's when I knew what time it was. I knew what time it was. Hold on. Matter of fact, since they said this is a normal routine thing that goes on in Malibu. Look how many people that lost their lives in Malibu. Look how many actors that's killers. Look how many movie directors that's killers, bruh. Killers with a job, suits and tie, and act on roles in films. And write movie novels about it. Man, if you watch this, I'm finna pull the video up.
Other areas as well. And so that's what we're doing.
Could you describe how these bones may have gotten there? Is there like a trail nearby?
No, there's no trail
really
nearby.
Like totally removed from...
Totally remote.
Yeah.
It's, as I said, this morning when the park rangers set out to look at the marijuana grows that were active a couple of seasons ago to see if they were active this growing season. It took them 3 to 4 hours to get there, just to get to the grow, and that's when they discovered the bones. We couldn't even go in by foot. We had to chopper in and then lower down.
And then you were describing...
And then, by the way, we were not close. We then had to hike up. They had to hike up to where it was. No, it's a skull and some parts and some bones.
Not a full body?
No, not at all.
No clothes, nothing?
No, nothing at all like that. Yes, and they can get DNA from the bones. Oh, they have ways of identifying a DNA, if there's any matching dental records, things like that. If there are dental in the skull, then they can match them. But as I say, skull and some bones. So not a lot to go on, but certainly the best of the best will figure out, hopefully, who this person was. Because regardless, it was indeed a human being.
She's pissed that she didn't get called by the sheriff's department.
He's up there now.
He's not based out of Lost Hills, though, right? He's based out of Commerce.
No, he's a homicide lieutenant.
Yeah.
Who's that?
Mike Rossi.
The family of Mike Richardson, I'm sorry. The family of Mike Richardson, so we were helping assist.
Do they know you're here today?
They do know I'm here today, yes. I contacted them when I heard about it, and they're on their way as well.
They're on their way out here?
Yes.
What are their thoughts about this discovery today?
They're very disturbed. They're hoping that it's not her, but then again, they're kind of scared that it is her.
It's been 11 months. They've been coming out to a lot of locations,
Yes,
including
ma'am.
a recent possible sighting in Vegas.
Yes, ma'am.
This has got to be kind of heart
It's
tugging
very,
for you.
Every time we go out with the family, it's difficult, you know. They're on that last edge of hope, you know, and just coming out with them. It's starting to get to me too, you know, because it's, you know, it's starting to get to me.
Now watch. Let's open our eyes, y'all. Watch this. Let's open our eyes to the Cassidy video.
Yes, Diddy.
Check this out. Shout out to this YouTuber. Keep this in mind. If this is ongoing in Malibu, we know where P. Diddy stay at. We know what P. Diddy is accused of. Not only P. Diddy, but look at all those famous Malibu murder that a lot of actors died. It was a lot of actors died in Malibu as well. So when you heard this Cassidy story about why they keep finding body parts in Malibu, this the reason why.
Courtroom in turmoil as attorney rushed to response. Cassidy, the most beautiful girl I have ever seen. Oh my God, Cassidy is so beautiful, man. She's a pretty little girl. I gotta admit that. She's a pretty little girl. And Diddy, I cannot believe you. Oh my God, I can't believe what you did to this girl.
Pressing down until I couldn't.
I got some snacks in front of me, man. I'm getting hungry, so let's check this bad boy out. Here we go.
I've held this in for so long. Too long. Every day, every night. It's been like a weight on my chest, pressing down until I couldn't breathe. I told myself to stay quiet, to keep my head down, to survive. But survival isn't living, and I can't survive like this anymore. You think you know him. You see the smile, the charm, the man who walks into a room and owns it without saying a word. But that's not who he is. That's not the man I knew. The man I knew. He wasn't a man. He was a monster. I'm not here to talk about the parties, the money, the fame. I'm not here to talk about the life you see on Instagram or in magazines. I'm here to talk about the darkness. The things he did when the cameras were off. The things he made me do. The things he made me watch. I was his property, not his partner, not his girlfriend. His property. He owned me. He told me that every day. You're nothing without me. I made you. I can destroy you. And he meant it. He loved it. He loved watching me break. He loved knowing I couldn't leave. But today, I'm taking my power back. Today, I'm telling the truth. And the truth is, this isn't just about me. This is about all the women who came before me. All the women who stayed silent because they were afraid. All the women who disappeared because they dared to speak up. I have evidence, proof of what he's done, proof of the lies, the manipulation, the abuse, proof of the things he thought he could bury forever. But you can't bury the truth, not forever. This is just the beginning, and by the time I'm done, the world will see him for what he really is, a predator, a manipulator, a man who thought he was untouchable. But he's not untouchable anymore. And I'm not afraid anymore. You want to know what he did? You want to know the truth? It starts with control. It starts with fear. He didn't just want to own me. He wanted to break me. He wanted to take everything that made me who I am and crush it. And he did. For years he did. I remember the first time he hit me. It wasn't a slap. It wasn't some impulsive moment of anger. It was calculated, cold. He looked me in the eye and said, "This is what happens when you don't listen." And then he did it again and again.
Check this out. I'm going to show you how I afforded this car. Okay, you ready? All right, 108.
But it wasn't just the physical pain. It was the words. The way he would tear me down, piece by piece, until I didn't even recognize myself. You're worthless. You're nothing. No one will ever want you but me. And I believed him. I believed every word. He didn't just hurt me. He hurt the people around me, my family, my friends, anyone who tried to get close to me. He made sure I was isolated, alone, dependent on him for everything. And then there were the parties, the ones you've heard about, the ones where the rich and powerful would gather, where the rules didn't apply. I was there. I saw what happened. I saw the things no one talks about, the things no one wants to believe. He didn't just abuse me. He documented it. He recorded everything, every moment of pain, every moment of humiliation. He kept it all, like trophies, like proof of his power. But the worst part wasn't what he did to me. It was what he did to others, the women who came before me, the women who came after, the ones who didn't make it out, the ones who disappeared. I know their names. I know their stories, and I know what happened to them. He thought he could silence them forever. He thought he could silence me, but he was wrong. I'm not just speaking for myself. I'm speaking for them. For every woman who couldn't speak, for every woman who was too afraid, for every woman who didn't make it out alive. This isn't just about me. This is about justice. This is about holding him accountable for everything he's done, for the lives he's destroyed, for the pain he's caused. And I have proof. I have evidence. I have recordings, documents, photographs, things he thought he could bury, things he thought no one would ever see. But I'm not afraid anymore. I'm not afraid of him. I'm not afraid of what he might do, because the truth is stronger than his lies. The truth is stronger than his fear. And the truth is, he's not untouchable. Not anymore. This is just the beginning. And by the time I'm done, the world will see him for what he really is. A predator, a manipulator, a man who thought he was above the law. But he's not above the law. And he's not above justice. This is for every woman who couldn't speak. This is for every woman who was silenced. This is for every woman who didn't make it out. This is for me. And this is just the beginning. You think you know the whole story, but you don't. There's more. So much more. He didn't just hurt me. He hurt so many others. And some of them never got out. Some of them are still trapped. There's a place, a mansion, hidden away where no one would think to look. It's not on any map. It doesn't show up in any records, but it exists. I've been there. I've seen it. He called it his sanctuary, but it was nothing holy. It was a prison, a place where he kept women, and not just women, men too, people who crossed him, people who knew too much, people he wanted to disappear. I remember the first time he took me there. He blindfolded me, told me it was for my own safety, that it was somewhere special, somewhere only the privileged few could go. But when the blindfold came off, all I saw was darkness, concrete walls, locked doors, faces staring back at me, hollow and broken. The mansion wasn't what you'd expect. From the outside, it looked like luxury, gated, manicured, polished. But behind those doors, it was a labyrinth, hallways that twisted and turned, rooms with no windows, basements that seemed to stretch on forever. I got lost in there more than once, and every time I did, I'd find something worse than before. There were rooms with chains on the walls, rooms with beds bolted to the floor, rooms where the soundproofing was so thick you could scream and no one would hear you. I know because I screamed. I screamed until my voice gave out. He treated them like objects, like props. He would parade them in front of his guests, show them off like trophies. Some of them were there for days, some for months, some, I don't think they ever left. And it wasn't just the physical walls that trapped us. It was the rules, the unspoken rules that hung in the air, suffocating. You didn't speak unless spoken to. You didn't look him in the eye unless he allowed it. You didn't breathe without his permission. He controlled everything. When they ate, when they slept, if they could speak, he had rules, strict rules, and if you broke them, there were consequences. I saw it. I saw what he did to them. The punishment, the cruelty. He made examples of them to keep the others in line. Sometimes he'd bring in his friends, powerful people who wanted a taste of control. They'd walk those halls like it was some kind of twisted theme park. They'd pick and choose, like we were nothing but merchandise. And he'd watch. He loved to watch. He'd call it entertainment, but there was nothing entertaining about it. Not for us, not for the ones who had to live it. It was torture, plain and simple, psychological, physical, emotional. He broke us down until there was nothing left. And the worst part, he filmed it. He documented everything. He kept files, recordings, videos. I've seen them. I've held them in my hands. He thought they would protect him, that they were leverage, but they're evidence that he thought would never see the light of day. He showed me some of those tapes, forced me to watch them. He said it was a lesson, a reminder of what happens when you defy him, when you try to leave, when you think, even for a second, that you can get away. There were tapes of women I knew, women I'd met at his parties, women who smiled and laughed and pretended everything was fine. But behind closed doors, when the cameras weren't public, their faces changed. The fear, the desperation. I saw it all. I wasn't just a victim. I was a witness. I saw it all. I heard the screams. I felt the fear. And I knew, deep down, that if I didn't play along, if I didn't do exactly what he wanted, I would end up just like them. He used to tell me that he was untouchable, that no one would ever believe me, that even if I did get out, if I did find the courage to speak, his lawyers, his money, his connections would make sure no one ever heard me. But not anymore. I'm done being afraid. I'm done staying silent. I'm done letting him win. I have the proof. I have the names. I have everything he thought he could hide. There are ledgers, handwritten logs of every person who went in and out of that mansion. Dates, times, names. Some of those names you'd recognize. Others you'd never expect. People who helped him. People who knew and did nothing. People who made sure the doors stayed locked and the cameras stayed off. This mansion, it's not just a place. It's a graveyard, a monument to his power and his cruelty. And I'm tearing it down, brick by brick, truth by truth. There were secret rooms in that mansion, rooms behind false walls, panic rooms, he called them. But they weren't for safety. They were for hiding things, hiding people. He'd stash them away when the wrong person showed up. when someone came asking questions, when the authorities got too close. I've been in those rooms. I've sat in the darkness, knowing that on the other side of the wall, people were laughing, partying, living their lives while I was trapped. I've scratched my nails down the walls until they bled, trying to find a way out. And it wasn't just me. There were others. I can still see their faces, still hear their voices. They'd whispered to me in the dark, asking if I thought we'd ever get out, if anyone would ever find us. He told us that no one cared, that no one was looking, that the world had already forgotten us. And for a long time, I believed him. I believed that I was invisible, that we all were. But he was wrong. I'm not invisible. They are not invisible. I see them. I remember them. And I won't stop until the world remembers them too. For every woman he locked away, for every person he hurt, for every life he ruined. I'm not just telling my story. I'm telling theirs. And this isn't the end. This is just the beginning. Because when I'm done, he won't have anywhere left to hide. Not in his mansion, not behind his money, not behind his lies.
Do it, do it, do it now. Spritz it good. Rub it on your body just like you should.
I've kept records. I've kept journals. I've kept everything. The things he thought I destroyed. The things he thought he could erase. I've hidden them in places he'd never think to look, with people he'd never suspect. I see you, Sean. I see you for what you really are. And now, so does everyone else. You can't silence me. You can't bury the truth. Not anymore. Not when I have nothing left to lose. This is for every woman who didn't make it out. For every person who still hears the echoes of those locked doors. For every soul trapped in the darkness of that mansion. This is my story, but it's also theirs, and I promise you, I won't stop until justice is served. The world deserves to know. They deserve to see the real you, and they will, because this is just the beginning. And when the truth finally comes out, when the world sees everything you've tried so hard to hide.
Now y'all see how she look. Think about the stories when they say when they go through these mansions, go through these rooms, and they'll pop out these tunnels, and this thing, you know, they'll be in a garden, and they'll be like at a palace. You see what I'm saying? Man, this stuff is unbelievable to me, bruh. This what that would be at. All of this is cause basically, all of this connected to half of these mansions, bruh. Look at this. Come on, man. Come on, man. You got to be a fool if you don't believe in this stuff. Look. Some of them don't even got to drive to go to work. They could just go in the secret tunnel, drive up on the ground and go straight to work without being seen. It's a lot of traffic that be going on in these tunnels, bruh. Come on, man. You can look at this alone. Don't nobody stay here. But they got this shit. They come to this on some event type shit. Look. I'm trying to find P. Diddy house. Having a hard time doing it. Hold on. I'm gonna try to find it, gang, cause it's on this screen. Hold on. Let me see. Can I find it? Right. Usually it'll pop up. Where the street at? South Maple Drive. That's what I want. It ain't this, you know what I'm talking about. Damn. I got to start all over. Find this thunder booty location. You know what? I just do like.
You'll understand what real fear is. Not the kind of fear you used to control us, but the kind of fear that comes when you know your time's up, when you know the walls are closing in, when you know that no amount of money, no amount of power, no amount of lies can save you. I'm not afraid of you anymore. And soon, you'll be the one who's afraid. This is for me. This is for them. This is for the truth. And this is just the beginning. You think it couldn't get worse. You think you've heard the darkest parts of the story. But the truth is there's more, so much more. What I've told you already is only the surface. Beneath it lies something even more sinister. The mansion wasn't just a prison for women and those who crossed him. It was a maze, a twisted labyrinth designed to hide secrets. And the worst of those secrets lay underground. There were tunnels, long dark corridors that ran beneath the mansion. They stretched for miles, winding under the estate, leading to rooms and chambers no one was supposed to find. You couldn't tell where you were down there. Every wall looked the same. Every turn led deeper into the darkness. He called them his safe passages, but they weren't for safety.
Wait a minute, that's another one of P. Diddy houses. I ain't trying to find that John. I'm trying to find the Humble Paws John. Ain't them folk messing with me now.
They were for hiding things, hiding people, the ones he didn't want anyone to see, the ones he wanted to keep forever. It wasn't just women. There were children, young girls, young boys, minors who had no idea where they were or how they'd gotten there. Some of them were runaways. Some had been lured in with promises of fame, of opportunity, of safety. But all of them were trapped. I saw them. I heard them. I spoke to some of them. They were terrified, their faces pale, their voices barely above a whisper. They asked me if I was there to save them, and I didn't have an answer because...
Man, now this finna hit different, cause here go the house right here. So look, the whole time I was right here in the spot the whole time with Jeffrey cause I knew he stayed next door to Jeffrey Humphrey Bogart, right? So here go the house right here, cause they had it as the dealer's house. So look, if you look at the layout, he got underground tunnel. Guess who stayed behind her? Kanaya Sent. Now you see how close they houses together, and you still don't believe Kanaya Sent is P. Diddy's son? Come on, man. Come on now. Look at this. She's saying all of this that goes on in this man's house. Look who all stay around that's connect all these houses. So you mean to tell me, now Trey Gang, ain't no such thing underground tunnel? That's insane. Ain't nobody got underground tunnel connected to each one of these houses. But if you listen to Cassidy's story, right? You look at the layout of his house. See this? Boom. You can even tell how the way the house is set up. You see how that line is? Boom. You could visually can make out how it's built up on the ground. Only thing you just gotta do is follow the rail system. You know, the sewage system, you know what I'm talking about, up on the ground, you know, like the street level. So yeah, boom, it's gonna travel just like the same way you see on the roads. If I could draw little squiggly lines and connect every house to this house, starting off with the dealer. What this sound like by looking at this man's house on the layout and the surroundings of it?
Wanted to keep forever into the darkness. He called them his safe passages, but they weren't for safety. They were for hiding things, hiding people, the ones he didn't want anyone to see, the ones he wanted to keep forever. It wasn't just women. There were children, young girls, young boys, minors who had no idea where they were or how they'd gotten there. Some of them were runaways. Some had been lured in with promises of fame, of opportunity, of safety. But all of them were trapped. I saw them. I heard them. I spoke to some of them. They were terrified, their faces pale.
She's saying all of this happened in this man's house, bruh. Come on, man. No wonder why the feds went and raided that joint. They weren't just there to get no baby oil and get videotapes. It was bigger than that. Shit, all of this what she saying? In this man's house?
Their voices barely above a whisper. They asked me if I was there to save them, and I didn't have an answer, because back then, I couldn't even save myself. He used those tunnels to move them, to keep them hidden when guests came over, when the authorities got too close. He had secret doors, false walls, passages that led directly into those underground rooms. You could be standing in a lavish bedroom, surrounded by wealth and luxury, and just a few feet away, behind a wall, children were being held in cages. They were malnourished. They were neglected. They were alone. He didn't see them as children. He saw them as currency, as leverage. He'd use them to control people, to blackmail them, to ensure their silence. He knew that some of his guests had dark appetites, and he provided for them. He made sure their secrets stayed hidden.
Man, look how I'm looking at this. If you got everybody, actors, movie directors, and they all stay here, they're just like the whole neighborhood. Yeah, man, you come to the house, man. Come on to the house, bro. I'm finna throw a party. Yeah, here I come. I stay on this street. Boom. Come on, you know what I'm talking about? Yeah, then you got other famous actors. Look, you got this actor. Yeah, I'll be over there in a minute. I'm gonna walk down there, goddammit. You know what I'm talking about? Oprah could stay over here somewhere. Yeah, I'll be over there, P. Diddy. You want me to bring the extra batch of oil? Yeah, bring some oil too. Alright, then boom. Then you got Michael Jackson showing up. Hi. I heard it was little boys here. And then they showing up. You see what I'm saying? No wonder why nobody. Man, look. I ain't gonna lie. If I was at a mansion party, goddammit, cause this got to be one of those houses when Cat Williams said, yeah, you in there walking in one of those rooms. He was talking about P. Diddy house. Yeah, we were walking in the room. I wasn't even famous for 5 minutes. Everybody done turned to little boys.
Hidden, and in return, they protected his. I remember one girl. She couldn't have been more than 13. She was so small, so fragile. She told me her name was Sarah, but I don't know if that was her real name. She said she'd been there for months, that she hadn't seen the sun in so long she couldn't remember what it looked like. She told me about the others, about how sometimes they would take one of them away and they'd never come back. She said they called it going to sleep. She didn't know where they went. None of us did. But deep down.
And I'm gonna tell y'all, like, I know what he doing. This is what he doing when he drug them victim up when they pass out, right? When they pass out. He could have transported them up on the tunnel. Cause you know they're gonna have vehicles up on the tunnel. And they could have, or you could look at it like this here. They could have drugged them and moved them to another area of the house. And they could be thinking, I'm in Miami. You see what I'm saying? They could be thinking they in Miami and wake up in a totally another house. You're going to be like, damn, I'm somewhere else. How the fuck I ended up here? It's mind control. It's a mind game they be playing on these people, bro. Look, even Wendy Williams said this a long time ago. Bro, that's how big Wendy Williams was when she was on the radio station. I remember that Wendy Williams had everybody locked in at that time. We were like, what? P. Diddy? I even know P. Diddy was gay. I knew that off top. I just didn't have no proof or nothing. Cause it was just his zesty ways. Your name, P. Diddy. And you always, your dance moves is different from a real man's moves. You know what I'm talking about? Those moves suspects. The way you shaking your hands with the spirit fingers, you might want to put some sparkles in that motherfucker song. You see what I'm saying? Don't no nigga do no jazz fingers at the end of his moves and shit. That be killing me, you know what I'm talking about? But check this out, gang.
We all knew. He had a system, a network of people who helped him, guards, staff, drivers, people who turned a blind eye or helped him make sure no one escaped. They'd shuffle the kids through the tunnels, put them in cars with tinted windows, and they'd be gone. No names, no records, just gone. And if anyone asked questions, if anyone got too close, he'd make sure they disappeared too. He had resources, connections. He could wipe away a person's existence with a phone call. I saw it happen, more than once. He told me that the world was full of lost people, that no one would miss a few more, that the kids he took didn't have anyone who cared about them, that he was giving them a purpose. But the truth was, he was stealing their futures, their lives, their souls. He had places he'd send them, houses in other states, other countries, places where the laws couldn't touch him, where his money could buy silence.
I could see why he would tell his victims that. And you know what? You know what? Want to know why he would tell his victims that? Because in reality, that's what the public do. The public won't even notice you went missing for a while. And other people done took the spotlight and blush you out of there. Then you just popped up all of a sudden like, oh damn, I forgot all about you. You see what I'm saying? It's a man that it don't take no very smart person to wait to realize what's going on here. Cause I see, if you look at the public, right, guess what the public gonna do? Just say they can stir up so much stuff about you, right? Guess what the public finna do? Feed into everything they stirred up about you. Look at all the backlash that girl got back before the video was released showing the girl getting beat up. Look how P. Diddy been doing this for years. Everybody that signed the contract that was famous at Child Stars got a story to tell. It's the same thing. They never mentioned the name. They said the music company robbed us out of our money and all of this. So the music company this and the music company that. But guess who was in charge of those contracts? P. Diddy and his people that put him in charge. So look, if you can't mention P. Diddy's name because you done signed the contracts, you cannot go and do an interview and say that man's name. You can just say the music company. And check this out. This how slow the public is, so slow to react to it. If you got an actor on this #1 movie, just say we're gonna name this movie Lonely Girls. Lonely Girls movie, right? And you got this lady blew this movie up. And 2 or 3 years later, she come to the light and say, yeah, you know, I ain't working with the music company the movie company no more. They so disrespectful. They always flirting, hit on me, offer me drugs, alcohol, touching me, and all that. Who you think is doing that? The person that directed the movie. The person that they signed a contract with. And the public act like they don't know who. That's the killing part. That's just like that lady that was Julie Garden. Look at all those child roles she had. Then look all the tragedy that she went through childhood. She said, my Hollywood did this to me. So everybody just gonna look at Hollywood, but not the main key player that got the power. You on my script, you say this, you say that. Just like that Singleton movie. Just like when Cat Williams aired out Snoop Dogg when he came to the movie Bad Boy. I mean, not that movie Bad Boy, but Too Fast, Too Furious. Who sold out? Come on, man. That don't make no sense. That's why celebrities don't want to talk. This is why the public is the last place they want to address it to. Because you're going to have other people going to take things out of context. You're going to, well, I think this happened. I think she lying and I think this. It's not what you think. It's what you can prove, bruh. Listen to these people's story. Stop jumping the gun what the news give you. Because this is what the news going to give you. If you want to say anything out against them, you know they own all the media outlets. You know they own all the news, all the reporting. So they finna make one phone call to E! News and say you a drug addicted and you got mental issues and you crazy. The first thing you finna do is read that article and go along with the story and move on to something else hot. And this person behind the scenes is going through hell with a devil, bro. That's crazy to me. Look how many. So that means everybody that played the role. Check this out. Everybody that made it in Hollywood ain't nothing but sellouts. You don't get these spots just because you have talent. Every movie you see from now on, from the biggest actors to the small extra with a simple role just walking in the back, maybe he killed his uncle or something. Maybe he did some type of sacrifice in the family or something to get in that scene to show his loyalty, bro. I'm down with it. I just want the money. Man, you can change innocent people to serial killers, bro. It's the same thing in the hood. Look at this like old block, west side of Chicago. What's the difference? Only thing about it, it ain't no gun violence. Only thing about it, the difference is they sacrifices in trafficking around here. Hello. Yeah, they trap. They got houses. They look, man. These people got houses with kids trapped in them, people trapped in them, bruh. Nobody don't care. Nobody don't care that you still got missing people, and these people is somewhere chained up in these people houses. No wonder why celebrity was cool. Burn down this shit. Get a Mexican. I bet you a Mexican deal. Look, I go get a Mexican. A goddamn Mexican be like, look, yeah, let's go up here. Let's dig a hole somewhere right up in here. Man, next thing you know, about 2 foot in the ground, we're going to hear a ting, ting, ting. Like, damn, what that is? That's like pipes, ain't it? Let's drill a hole in that motherfucker. Then you drill a hole in that motherfucker, you'll see about 8, 9 little girls. Help us. Help us. Man, you might see a lady down there in her 80s. And she was missing since the 30s and shit. I'm just saying, bro. Watch this. The devil is real. This how the devil work with on the earth. You got all your fallen angels. Put them on the west side. Over here. We finna give you land and deserts. When you go back into the Bible, now you see why the desert still playing a role. Cause look at all the bones and skulls, the death valleys all over there in Africa and in Egypt and all of this stuff. They still, then these people got altars built just like over there on the holy lands, bruh. You know what I'm telling? Ain't nothing new up under the sun. We just got here and seeing it with our own eyes, bro. But this shit been happening before your great 10 generation after that, 100 generation after that. Look.
I heard him on the phone, arranging transport, making deals, trading lives like they were nothing more than merchandise. And all the while, he'd walk the halls of that mansion, smiling, laughing, living his life like nothing was wrong, like he wasn't keeping kids in cages.
And look, and then all of them always say they was in the garden. When they'll take them somewhere, they will end up in the garden. Look what this is. I'm in the garden now, ain't it? Look where I'm at. So you mean to tell me, bro, you can't imagine a line of missing kids walking this little trail to go to these areas, bro? Come on, man. Come on, man.
Just a few feet below his feet, there were rooms down there, rooms with locks on the outside, rooms with nothing but a mattress on the floor, rooms where the light bulbs had burned out and no one bothered to replace them. Those kids sat in the dark, waiting, hoping, praying that someone would find them. But no one came. No one ever came. He used fear to control them, told them that if they ran, if they tried to escape, he'd find them, that he had eyes everywhere.
Now you see why he said he got eyes everywhere. You can't run. Where's you gonna run to? Look who stayed amongst around him.
Used fear to control them, told them that if they ran, if they tried to escape, he'd find them, that he had eyes everywhere, that the world outside was worse than what they had with him, and some of them believed it. Some of them stopped trying to leave, stopped trying to fight, but not all of them. There were a few who held on, who kept their hope alive. They'd pass notes to each other, whisper plans in the dark. They had a system, a code, and when they realized I wasn't like the others, when they realized I wanted out just as much as they did, they started including me. We tried to escape. Once, we got as far as the end of one of the tunnels. I remember it like it was yesterday. There was a door. It was heavy, metal, and when we opened it, fresh air rushed in, real air, not the recycled, stale air from the vents. It smelled like freedom. But we never made it. His guards found us, dragged us back. He made an example of the ones who led the way. I don't know what happened to them. I never saw them again. He told me they'd been sent away, but I knew better. We all did. After that, everything changed. He got stricter, harsher. He shut down parts of the mansion, closed off the tunnels, moved some of the kids to places even I couldn't find. He said it was for security, but we knew it was punishment. He used to tell me that the world outside was a lie, that if I ever escaped, if I ever spoke out, no one would believe me, that the truth was too dark, too twisted, that people would rather believe the mask he wore than the monster he was. But not anymore. Okay. I'm done being afraid. I'm done staying silent. I'm done letting him win. I have the proof. I have the names. I have everything he thought he could hide. This isn't just about me. It's not just about the women. It's about those kids. It's about the ones who never got out. The ones who lost their lives in the darkness of those tunnels. The ones who were too scared to scream because they knew no one would hear them. I have the evidence, the tapes, the records. I know where those tunnels lead. I know what lies beneath that mansion. And I won't stop until the world knows, too. I'm speaking for them, for every child who cried themselves to sleep in that darkness, for every lost soul he tried to erase, for every name he thought he could bury. You can't hide anymore, Sean. You can't cover this up. The truth is coming, and it's coming fast. And when it does, those tunnels won't be your escape. They'll be your prison. I see you. I see you for what you really are. And now, so does everyone else.
This why he wanted to be on house arrest at that mansion, bruh. At that mansion, bruh. Because I'm going to tell you something, bruh. Think about it. If when Cassidy came out with that lawsuit, look, that man settled less than 24 hours, 30 mil. Then after that, right? This just supposed to be like a Bruce case, assault, and all this stuff he went through with her. And it turned into a trafficking case. Now you got the Homeland Security raid the houses and come on the news and say, we found 1,000 bottles of baby oil. What if they found thousands of kids? Thousands of missing victims. They did tell us everything. They didn't tell us everything now. We don't know. Only thing I know, this the real reason why I can see they raid the house. How many lawsuits that you done witnessed, they done raid the house? Not now once a P. Diddy came into play. So look, they knew what that man had going on, bro. The Homeland Security was here. If the Homeland Security was here, that means it's other cases across seas. Y'all still thinking about this mansion? Think about the property they got on the islands and cross seas. It makes me think those private jets, boy, they bringing back some missing kids with them, bro. Look.
This is just the beginning. And when I'm done, when every secret is brought to light, when every truth is finally heard, you'll understand what real fear is. Not the kind of fear you use to control us, but...
And check this out. Make it so bad, they even got proof that the man got tunnels all the way to the Playboy Mansion. Now that's crazy. Everybody know the Playboy Bunny got underground tunnels. They even report this back in the days when Hugh Hefner was big. Yeah, they got underground tunnels where all the girls come in and flirt with the guys and all of this. And in our generation, we know those tunnels still exist, and we know P. Diddy is using those tunnels, transporting these kids all through these neighborhoods that's connected to other mansions. I'm like, and this house is all the way here. Now, if you look at the layout, Ain't this South Mapleton Drive? Where do P. Diddy stay again? Right here. Where the Playboy Bunny Mansion? Right here. You mean to tell me you got an underground tunnel from here to all the way here? If you got an underground tunnel from your house, best believe it's going to lead up under here downstairs and you could just boom, come all the way down to the Playboy Bunny Mansion. Simple, man. Man, y'all finna make me go to Home Depot, go get some power tools, shovels and shit, just to dig up out here and just say, huh, see? What I told y'all, just to get a lot of people talking about these missing kids. For some reason, that man word is so powerful, ain't nobody thinking about the kids. Everybody still thinking about who fucked them. What celebrity he done. Everybody still focusing on celebrities that's cool with letting that man do whatever he do to them. Look at all these people that's at this man's house that's cool with this shit. I didn't know that man was a freak like that, bruh.
But the kind of fear that comes when you realize your empire of lies is crumbling. When you realize The shadows you hid in are gone. I'm not afraid of you anymore, and soon you'll be the one who's afraid. This is for me. This is for them. This is for the truth, and this is just the beginning. You think the darkness ended with him. You think that once you've seen the monster, the story is over. But it wasn't just...
Look, everybody's house is connected. Look, this one thing I peep. If I stay here, in this house right here, I can come out my house. Man, that boy, who stay right here? I like that, John. This my house. So, look, I can come out my yard, take me a little scroll, you know what I'm talking about, go back here. I let, you know what I'm talking about, my, one of my celebrity friends, boom, I'm finna come over there. Yeah, let me come on over there right quick. Yeah, look, let's go over his house. Then we can walk over here, a little entryway, a little gate. Go over here to Jeffrey Barford home and come back to P. Diddy house. It's just like an apartments complex. Let's hit the cut. Let's hit the cut, go the back way, cuz. From right here. Where the Playboy Bunny mansion, right here. It's all connected. Look, boom. Look, go through her. Boom, you go through her. You in on this property. Boom, you go. Come on now. And this Kanai sit house. Look, it's connected, bruh. And look, if you watch some of his streams, they always talked about their closet. He always look, even he said, yeah, I got a secret door right here. They were like, where that door go to? I ain't gonna tell you. And then somebody made a remark one time like, P. Diddy ever came through this door? And I was like, damn, why would he say that? At the time, I didn't know P. Diddy stayed right behind him. So it would make sense. Then these people be having babies with these people and killing the babies. It be a lot of abortion going on. Look. Come on, man. Look. The truth don't need no help. Everybody see the checkerboard. Come on, man. P. Diddy bought their house. That's why Kanai used to go live and have all those all-white parties. Because they had to be coming from over here.
Just him. It wasn't just Sean. The truth is, his darkness wasn't his alone. It spread like poison, and those closest to him drank it willingly. His son, the one who smiled just like him, who walked into a room with the same confidence, the same swagger. The apple didn't fall far from the tree. He learned from the best, or should I say, the worst. I remember the first time I saw it, that same coldness in his eyes, that same hunger for control. Sean had groomed him well. He taught him that women were possessions, that power meant taking what you wanted, that rules didn't apply to men like them. He was young, but he knew. He saw what his father did. He watched the way Sean treated me, treated the other women. And instead of horror, instead of compassion, he saw an example, a blueprint for how to be a man. There were parties, always the parties. But when Sean was busy, when his attention was elsewhere, his son would pick up where he left off. He had his own room in that mansion, his own slight.
So who y'all think she talking about? Come on now, listen to this. Bro, who is Cassidy talking about? Hold on. Again.
Was busy. When his attention was elsewhere, his son would pick up where he left off. He had his own room in that mansion, his own slice of the nightmare, and he used it. I saw the way he looked at the girls, the way he'd corner them, press them up against the walls. He had his father's charm.
So y'all don't know who she talking about? So y'all don't know who she talking about? Again.
He saw what his father did. When every secret is brought to light, when every truth is finally heard, you'll understand what real fear is. Not the kind of fear you use to control us, but the kind of fear that comes when you realize your empire of lies is crumbling. When you realize the shadows you hid in are gone. I'm not afraid of you anymore, and soon you'll be the one who's afraid. This is for me. This is for them. This is for the truth, and this is just the beginning. You think the darkness ended with him. You think that once you've seen the monster, the story is over. But it wasn't just him. It wasn't just Sean. The truth is, his darkness wasn't his alone. It spread like poison, and those closest to him drank it willingly. His son, the one who smiled just like him, who walked into a room with the same confidence, the same swagger. The apple didn't fall far from the tree. He
Man, this is so crazy. Check this out. This is so crazy, bro. This how fucked up the world is.
From the best.
Check this out. I put this on my life. This how fucked up the world is right now because of this. Everything what P. Diddy said, they ain't gonna believe you. The world do not believe you. They gonna forget about you. They gonna do all. They don't know everything what we know. Look at this guy. Watch this. Hold up. This finna hit real different. This finna hit real different. Hold on. You don't see it now?
Is crumbling. When you realize the shadows you hid in are gone. I'm not afraid of you anymore, and soon you'll be the one who's afraid. This is for me. This is for them. This is for the truth, and this is just the beginning. You think the darkness ended with him. You think that once you've seen the monster, the story is over. But it wasn't just him. It wasn't just Sean. The truth is, his darkness wasn't his alone. It spread like poison, and those closest to him drank it willingly. His son, the one who smiled just like him, who walked into a room with the same confidence, the same swagger. The apple didn't fall far from the tree. He learned from the best, or should I say, the worst. I remember the first time I saw it, that same coldness in his eyes, that same hunger for control. Sean had groomed him well. He taught him that women were possessions, that power meant taking what you wanted, that rules didn't apply to men like them. He was young, but he knew. He saw what his father did. He watched the way Sean treated me, treated the other women, and instead of horror, instead of compassion, he saw an example, a blueprint for how to be a man. There were parties, always the parties, but when Sean was busy, when his attention was elsewhere, his son would pick up where he left off. He had his own room in that mansion, his own slice of the nightmare, and he used it. I saw the way he looked at the girls, the way he'd corner them, press them up against the walls. He had his father's charm, his father's power, but he wielded it like a weapon. He didn't need to use force, not at first. He'd smile, offer them a drink, a line of something to help them relax. He'd make them feel special, wanted, and then, when they were too far gone to say no, he'd strike. His voice would change, his face would harden, and the girls who thought they were safe realized too late that they were trapped. He wasn't as careful as Sean. He didn't have the same discipline. He'd lose his temper.
So, you mean to tell me, man, this ain't this man's son? Same lips, spitting image of him. And she said his dark secrets go real deep. He have a son. And notice, this man barely come out the house. Check this out. Take a blood test. They'll stop anything. Take a blood test. I bet you this his daddy. Come on, man. How much you want to bet? What a coincidence. Cassidy would say anything about this shit.
His darkness wasn't his alone. It spread like poison, and those closest to him drank it willingly. His son, the one who smiled just like him, who walked into a room with the same...
Let's see the smile. I need to catch him smiling. Come on, I don't want to see that old gay ass shit up, man. They won't watch this type shit. Nigga too silly and goofy, man. You know what I'm talking about? Hold on. Spitting image. Hold up. Be right back. Oh, now, pull it up. Hold up, here we go. Let me do Kanai Scent right quick. Let me do Kanai Scent. Hold on. Copy that. Paste it. Hold up, y'all. Come on. Boy, we finna get a Marvin Purvis show going on. Y'all look, check this out. Y'all the audience, right? Alright, y'all on the Pie Y'all show. You know what I'm talking about? Alright. Welcome to the stage, P. Diddy. You know what I'm saying? Conniving, you know what I'm talking about? Thank you for, you know what I'm talking about, showing up and stuff, you know. The public want to know is, let's hit straight to the punches, you know, why we all here, you know. The public want to know is that your daddy? Cause every house that he got, you always stay behind the house. And you just blew up. Now you mean to tell me, man, that YouTube money really making that kind? You really making you making money, but not this kind of money. So we know who getting spoiled here. Same nose, same lips. God damn it, even all the way to the same teeth. You see this part? There go that part. Hold up. Look. Bottom lips. Bottom lips. If you look at the teeth with the bottom lips, look at the teeth with the bottom lips. Perfectly matched. P. Diddy didn't want nobody to know that's his son. He was running New York just like he got keys to the city. He had the keys to the city. He got the same success that he do. Why you think all those celebrities that his daddy put in compromised position got the show on his channel at his house? Like Kevin Hart. Why Kevin Hart all in the man room? You see what I'm saying? Come on, gang. Look at the jawline structure. Matter of fact, let's go to P. Diddy younger days. I'll be right back. Hold on, y'all. Let me find some good images. I want to find some good images when he was a little bit younger. Just a little bit younger, around about his age. I need to find him when he was around about his age. So let me see. It's a good one. That's a good one. Boy, that's a good one. Same mustache, hair trimmings, and everything. See how he grow a mustache and can't really just connect the. Perfect image. Hold up.
Same confidence, the same swagger. The apple didn't fall far from the tree. He learned from the best, or should I say, the worst.
And she ain't talking about those others weak ass sons he got, cause they ain't about shit. Ain't nobody really studying them. But if this is son, boy, don't it fit? Don't the shoe fits? Don't the shoe fits?
I remember the first time I saw it, that same coldness in his eyes, that same hunger for control. Sean had groomed him well. He taught him that women were possessions, that power meant taking what you wanted, that rules didn't apply to men like them. He was young, but he knew. He saw what his father did. He watched the way Sean treated.
Then look, and then P. Diddy act just like him. They even act alike. All zesty.
Treated me, treated the other women, and instead of horror, instead of compassion, he saw an example, a blueprint for how to be a man. There were parties, always the parties, but when Sean was busy, when his attention was elsewhere, his son would pick up where he left off. He had his own room in that mansion, his own slice of the nightmare, and he used it. I saw the way he looked at the girls, the way he'd corner them, press them up against the walls. He had his father's charm, his father's power, but he wielded it like a weapon. He didn't need to use force, not at first. He'd smile, offer them a drink, a line of something to help them relax. He'd make them feel special, wanted, and then, when they were too far gone to say no, he'd strike. His voice would change, his face would harden, and the girls who thought they were safe realized too late that they were trapped. He wasn't as careful as Sean. He didn't have the same discipline. He'd lose his temper. He'd lash out. I remember one girl. Her name was Lily. She was just 19. She thought she was coming to a party. She thought it was a chance to meet people, to network, to be seen. But he saw her first. He pulled her into his room, locked the door, and when she came out, she had bruises. Her dress was torn. Her eyes were empty. She told me he hit her, that he laughed when she cried, that he said no one would believe her. She wanted to leave. I told her to run, but before she could, he found out. He told his father, and Sean made sure she disappeared. I don't know where she went. I don't know if she's still alive. But I remember the way he looked at me afterward, like it was a game, like he had won. And it wasn't just women. He had his hands in everything. Drugs, money. Sean taught him how to manipulate, how to coerce.
Man, I better not never catch Pops doing no shit like this, bro. You see what I'm saying? Just imagine you just come home, you know what I'm saying? And this thing you know, your daddy in the back feeling himself full of that dope. And you finna go in there, ask for a little few dollars, and you crack that door open, and that nigga talking to another nigga on the phone, talk like this.
And that motherfucker floating like a motherfucking cloud. Like you had clouds on your motherfucking shoes. You know what I'm saying? And that motherfucker moving around.
With a wig on.
Hey, you said Febreze, nigga? You was floating like a motherfucking Febreze, my nigga. You was moving like, nigga, with a scent. You had a... Nigga, it's just late night. Nigga,
so somebody was smelling like Febreze.
Freezing.
Damn.
Ain't no goddamn...
That motherfucker licked old lips.
Freezing. Oh, I was like, this ain't no goddamn wig. This motherfucking natural. I don't need to be ashamed of what the fuck. That's a motherfucking natural. It's a motherfucking natural. You know what I'm saying? I'm bringing it to Toronto and Atlanta. You coming to Atlanta?
I'm telling y'all. That's Pete Quisha coming out, bruh. That's Pete Quisha. Cause he got an inner demon like her name is Pete Keisha. And she trying to express herself. But the P. Diddy is not trying to let P. Quisha overpower it. So they got to balance out with each other. You kick in one time and I kick in one time.
Yo, motherfucker, you coming or not, bitch? Man, I'm down. Nah, if you don't get to Toronto, get to Atlanta. I know you got a busy schedule producing all them hits.
I'm definitely making it to Atlanta.
Maybe you should schedule in
Nigga, Toronto, I'ma smash that shit.
Stay, but can you schedule me in? Because it's like
Yo.
They doing the album together. Y'all need to come see these shows and shut the fuck up, for real.
You talk.
I'm not talking to nobody. I'm just saying, let's have a good...
You done got your hair right, and now you don't know nobody.
I just don't feel right without my family, that's all, baby. If anybody else take it any other way, I just don't feel right without y'all. You know what I'm saying?
Now motherfucker.
Fuck. I don't even know why I'm FaceTime recording you like you entertaining niggas. You ain't entertaining nobody. Niggas is touching snaps. They got 15 seconds. You wasting time. Baby,
You trying to destroy me?
Hey, yo, you gonna meet me in Atlanta?
Yo, ATL, you know what I'm saying? We gonna hit Atlanta. You know we don't have to...
Toronto Cash, what up? XO. I'm on the T-Dot. What's up, Six God? Drake, what up, baby? Yeah, we coming, baby. Yeah, Cash. Toronto always show love, you know what I'm saying? You guys understand these big sweets. I came in from the biggest sweet ever.
Man, I won't even be surprised. He would be in the room and P. Diddy would be a couple of rooms down in his room. Doing his little thing while that little boy be going live and shit. Hey, Pops. Cause you know, sometimes he might don't want to be called Pops and P. Diddy or P. Daddy. Hey, Daddy, don't call me fucking Daddy right now. Call me Mother. Hello, Mother. What do you want, son? Mother, can I borrow a thou wow? You know what I'm talking about? You know, that's how they be talking to each other. That's that rich gay stuff. Mother Diddy. You know what I'm talking about? They probably got Mother Diddy on that job.
I remember I came out there with the biggest suite in Toronto. They got me some shit cool up top. Everybody's there, little X, you know what I'm saying? Drake was even in that mode.
Now he can have that dope. Now I don't want none of that shit. Okay, you don't want none of this pink sushi powder. Nah, I'm fantastic. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, man, I've been sober and clean for years now. I ain't, you know what I'm talking about? You sure you don't want it? I'm like, nah, I'm cool, P. Diddy. I'm straight. You know what I'm talking about? You know, you say you want to be a rapper, don't? Yeah, I thought I did. So why you don't want to be no rapper no more? Nah, I'm straight. Come on, Trey Gang, we need you to get on that microphone. I'm like, nah, I'm straight, bro. You know what I'm talking about? We got some girls. Man, I want them bitches. You know what I'm talking about? You like boy? Man, I'm finna kill you. You know, that's when the gunshots finna ring out. Boo, 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 boo. You know what I'm talking about? Then look, the shit gonna go viral. They gonna be like, that's when my name gonna be like, that who the fucking Trey Gang? What happened? Man, they said he was a after shooter at P. Diddy house. They gonna try to pin up the narrative like I'm an crazy fan. Yeah, he just bust up at the house with a Draco and said, fuck everybody. Brat that, brat. You know what I'm talking about? Lying like a motherfucker. Then tell everybody what was the real truth. Man, look. He act just like his daddy. He be acting zesty too. He be acting real gay, bro. Man, that man high as hell.
20 years ahead to take you through the soundtrack of your life.
No. Throwing up the Illuminati. See, how you know he coming? You cool with nigga busting up in your room and shit? Your room just available, just open to anybody in the house. Then this man be taking live public showers and you know what I'm talking about. Man, look, I just need him smiling just like his daddy do. Got him! Boy, that's your song, boy. Damn, I need to get me one of those wigs that he got. With a Draco. Man, give me one of these wigs with a Draco. And some of them bastard boots. Man, I'm finna terrorize the city, bruh. If y'all see this, if y'all see Trey Gang with a wig like this on, just to let you know I'm going to a 70s party. And you know what they got going on at the 70s party. Eat the cake, anime! Eat the cake! Look, I bet you they got belly rings and everything, bruh. For real. Look at that man's shirt. Then I bet that man smell like some goddamn peaches and apples. Man, that man look like he smelled like a cinnamon bun, bruh. A cinnamon bun. Shit. You know P. Diddy got those pink ass Draco, pink bullies and shit. He even want the dope pink. Yeah, give me that pink shit. Man, that man probably have on some pink leopard goddamn thongs on up under them johns. Cause if he wearing all that, he don't wear boxers. That nigga wearing those soft fabric thongs. You know what I'm talking about? With bows on the sides. You know, they snap off thongs. You know, his draw tie up in the screen. You know what I'm talking about? You gotta tie the knot on the hip. Yeah, he getting ready. That's how he getting ready. He gotta get his stretch out. You know what I'm talking about? Break his back in. Cause he finna break. Yeah, he finna break all they ass in. I'm finna, boy. Take these painkillers, cause I'm finna hit you with this goddamn wood beetle. But yeah, gang, Trey Gang gonna go live later on tonight. You know what I'm talking about? And we just gonna spill some tea, cause I just want to show y'all this what really going on. We still got to go back to old murder case, cause it's all in the same frame. Now y'all see this? All right up in here. And guess who owned this land? People in high places, bro. On them out. So, yeah. Until then, man, Trey Gang to be back, y'all. We'll be back later on tonight. So look. Y'all stay tuned. Pay y'all, Trey Gang, love y'all. Appreciate the new subscriber too, y'all. How y'all gang on deck? Trey Gang, love y'all. Y'all be cool.